searching though I don't know how. There was a time I used to know. I lost my bearings long ago. And all this time, well, it's my imagination, my fading inspiration that dances in my mind. And it's a crime that my imagination, my own interpretation, should lead me down this road, and I know where to go. To find my travels as you can.
Define those travels, as the song says every week, as you can. I'm going to be involved in some travels, actually, in just a little bit. Hello, everyone. Welcome to all the goglings, gogletites, gog folks. I hope everyone is doing well out there. And welcome to a Tuesday stream, episode 90 of Pen and Pixels. Wow, episode 90, 10 episodes away from 100 of Pen and Pixels. I am your host, Arvin Elleron. It is Tuesday, August 5th, 2017, and I hope that everyone is doing well and has enjoyed their Tuesday so far. Thank you to Outstar for streaming before me, as always. And the person after me, of course, is going to be Chrono Wolf, who will be giving you even more Fallout love with Fallout 3. He will be coming to you with Night Howls about 3 hours from now. But before then and now, we have some time to play with and some things to do, and we're going to try to do that right now, actually. Before we do that, just a couple of reminders. Please, if you have not already done so, please consider following GOG. Please make sure to sub to GOG as well, because you get awesome emotes, you get awesome badges, you get awesome stuff that you can use globally on Twitch. It's a fun time. Everyone loves it. It's good stuff. And please, if you can, check us out individually as well. A lot of us have individual shows and individual things that are going on. So please make sure to check us out on our individual channels, because we all stream the rest of the time when we are not on GOG also. But today, again, episode 90 of Pen and Pixels, and I am, in fact, going to be traveling. And let me get rid of this. Let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this. And let me turn on that. There we go. Hello, everyone. Good to see you all. I hope everyone's doing well. And yes, I'm going to be doing some traveling, like the song said. I'm going to be streaming for you until 7 p.m. Eastern, so about 3 hours from now. And then I am going to grab a little bit of dinner, and then I'm going to head out to Gen Con. I'm going to Gen Con in Indianapolis. I'm starting there tonight. I'm driving about 4 hours. I'll probably stop somewhere 4.5, like in Western Pennsylvania, if I can make it that way. And then tomorrow morning, I will recommence my journey and continue the rest of the way to Indianapolis, where I'll be meeting my family, and we will be doing a lot of fun stuff. Gen Con is a big con for me. It is probably my favorite, not probably, definitely my favorite con every year. It is a convention where I first got my creative start, so I got a lot of business going on. I'm going to be meeting with editors and stuff like that. I'm also going to be on a number of panels, doing workshops, talks, readings, signings, things like that, all as a member of the Writers Symposium, which I've been a member of for a number of years now. And on Thursday night, I'm going to be doing a special D&D adventure for apparently a sold-out audience. Apparently tickets for this sold out in like 4 hours, which is pretty awesome, with authors. So we have 8 authors that are going to be participating in this event. And I have written an adventure called Night at the Forbidden Library, which some of you, I think, were on my channel to help me write. So I'm going to be doing that Thursday night. So hopefully I will be able to live stream it. I'm hoping I can, depending on how Wi-Fi and all that kind of stuff is. We'll see. But I'm planning on doing that, and then hopefully hit a couple of streams while I'm out there as well, just to kind of let you guys into the source of what is going on at Gen Con every week. But we will see whether I'm able to do that. And then next week it is back to a normal schedule, and we'll be closing in on the end of summer and getting ready for the fall. But such as it is, this is the cycle of the year. But that's fine. So it's going to be a fun few months ahead. So that's what's going on with me. And so I am looking forward, before I do that, to playing some Torment. We have, I think, Descalti told me we have about 3 sessions, maybe 4 sessions left of Torment, after which I'll be going back to Star Trek Judgment Rights. That'll be my next game. And then after that, I'm not sure. I've got a number of possibilities that I'm thinking about. Thinking about the possibility of maybe doing some Temple of Elemental Evil. I haven't decided what I'm going to do for the one after Star Trek. We'll see. But in any case, those are the next 2 games on the docket. So with no further ado, I am going to head over and let's get moving. Torment time. Time has come for torment. Ah, yes. Let me just quickly recapture that. I do think, knock on wood, I managed to get my chat situation fixed up. But I just need to make sure that I have this resolved completely. There we go. Lovely. Let's carve that down a little bit. And there we go. Good. Lovely. All right. Let's do it up, folks. Made a fair bit of progress, actually, over the last couple sessions on this. So it's definitely been enjoyable. A lot to think about. Hey, what's up, X5? Oh, check my Twitch whispers. Oh, you have a... Let's see. Let me check my phone for that one, then. Let's see. X5 has been sending these really awesome introductions, which I know he does for a lot of people on GOG. And he's been sending these introductions as well. I know, I have them, Grows, right? I don't know, were you there for that? I think you were there, right, when I played some of those? So I have those. Okay, let's see. Here's the introduction. Hello, Arvin Eleron. Arv and Goglings, it is yet again back onto the road, into the Yellow Wood as we delve through the portal into the Tormented. Advanced we have become with Cthulhu Iron Man armor and much more. But the real world has been tormented as what a tragedy occurred in Charlottesville. Yeah. 3 deaths, 2 Virginia State Patrol troopers and 1 woman during the car ramming. It is a black hole of hatred and despair, but we must transpire above and beyond. We are one planet. Peace and love to everyone. Be respectful, loving, and kind-hearted all. And now, time to endure the tides of Numenera. Heart. Well said, X5. Well said on all accounts. Yes. And that is exactly what we're going to do. I talked about it on my own channel, so I won't talk about it more here, except to say that I continue to believe that the way through and over hatred is through love and community, and that is the way that I try to run all of the stuff that I do here and elsewhere, and hopefully we'll be able to continue that. Okay, with all that said, thank you, X5. I appreciate that introduction very much. Okay, we did Surgeon Slump, we did Shrine of Chile, we did Little Nihilish. I think I was going to the old slave block next.
Of course.
So we're going to do that. Yeah, I also don't think I would ever run out of games. I'm pretty confident I'd have them. But I do have the SSI Goldbox games, which I have downloaded and installed from GOG already. So this wheeled vehicle looks like it was abandoned here during some kind of military assault. Yeah, you do a really good job of those, X5, so thanks, man. I do appreciate it. Spray flesh. Okay.
You bet.
Whoa. Oh, these are the Murden. This makeshift bed consists of rags, dirty feathers, and assorted junk. These are the weird people, as they saw them. Time to talk to these Murden. 2 hunched avian humanoids stare at you, their bright and hate-filled eyes shining above dirty yellow beaks. You recognize them at once. Murdens. They emit a kind of psychic fuzz, a mental blanket that makes it difficult for you to concentrate. One puffs up its greasy black feathers to make itself look larger, while the other scrapes close to the ground. Their arms wave and gesture, and the intent is clear. Go no further. Your ability to read minds, only exacerbates the static, amplifying it to painful levels. It takes a supreme effort of will to shut out the noise. Apparently, reading the minds of Murdens is a bad idea. I mean you no harm. I've come to retrieve the standard for Artaglio's irregulars. One of them points its blade toward the adjoining room. They back slowly and nervously away, keeping their eyes on you the whole time. That's right, you're gonna back away. So these are Murdens, huh? These guys are cool. You guys are Murdens? These guys are awesome. Abhuman is the technical term, yeah. This makeshift bed consists of rags, dirty feathers, assorted junk. Rags, dirty feathers, assorted junk. Okay. Sensing a lot of rags, dirty feathers, and assorted junk. A lot to interact with. Assuming I can't talk to you anymore. The Murden puffs itself up. I can. Its greasy black down expanding as its beady eyes size you up. You notice that this creature is slightly larger than its comrade. It croaks a harsh and glottal challenge, and a burst of mistrustful static fuzzes your thoughts. Where is your leader? Murden ducks its head, bobbing from side to side to keep you in view, and it points its wicked blade toward the adjoining room. This guy's a real conversationalist.
Let's go.
I don't know whether to be happy about all this spray flesh or to be very concerned. Whoa. Skura the Faceless. Can I talk to you? The Murden draws back from you, hissing, and it looks nervously to its comrade on the other side of the room. It emits a burst of metal static that feels like trepidation. You don't want to talk to me, do you? Again, the creature glances at the other Murden, hisses at you, and waves its arms to shoo you away. Oh, I bet they want me to go here first. So let's do that.
All right.
These guys have very consistent with their makeshift beds. Okay. Murden Chief and the translator. This should be interesting.
Fine.
A battered standard lines the edge of the Murden Chief's nest covered in his filth. Its cloth is torn and ragged, but remains largely intact. But as you look more closely, you see it depicts a silver stein on a field azure, with a bar of 3 downward-facing triangles atop and below, just like the flag hanging outside the door of his tent. This is most definitely Artaglio's standard. Okay, well, I'm going to take that standard, but first I want to talk to this guy so he doesn't decide to tear me up first. Let's talk, Murden Chief. The larger size of this Murden and the gray down that tinges his beak and eyes give him a more stately and menacing look than his compatriots. His clothes are less tattered, and he projects an aura of command. As you approach, he hisses at the other Murdens, and the annoying mental static dies down considerably, leaving only his singular field as a sharper source. The noise whines and scratches in your head, and as the chief speaks, the human woman at his side speaks in a dull monotone. No. Pretty cloth from drinking man belong here. Right of theft. If drinking man want it, he steal it back. If you return it, you'll gain much. Respect, possibly the friendship of Artaglio, more freedom to roam the bloom. You want cloth? Replace it. But not with cloth. Not with things. Replace it with experience. Flight. I want to hunt in the sky. Give me experience of hunting flight and dive on prey. Then I return cloth to drinking man. Give him the feeling of flying? Huh. What's up, Darky1600? Amazing game. Enjoyed your playthrough so far. Yeah, I really have enjoyed it quite a bit too, Darky. I think, well, if you're a little ahead of me, I think that we don't have that much longer to go. A couple, probably, I don't know, 7-8 hours, something like that. I think Duscalty said we had about 3 sessions left if all goes well. So, we'll see. But I've really been enjoying it also. Yeah. Ha! Chief funny. Impossible. I'm looking for a black metal frame that you recently took from the humans. Haha! We have many treasures. Not remember frame. If we have to kill them and root their junk for it, I'm willing. Have you seen any of the Memovirus patrols lately? The guards? They not come here. They learn. Ha! Ha ha! Ha ha ha! Ho! I'm here for the return of Artaglio's standard. The flag in your nest. I specialized with him. I really wanted my guy to be focused on intellect, big charisma, talker, type of thing. I just wanted a lot of focus and attention on that. And then some other, I think, ciphers and different things that I've gotten. I'm gradually building up the others as well, but yeah. 14, you're tier 4, yeah. Yep, I saw that grows, and it's a good first step. It's a good first step. Oh, yeah, Descalti? Okay. That's connected to this? No. Pretty cloth from drinking men belong here. Right of theft. If drinking man want it, he steal it back. Let me ask about something else instead. I don't want to intimidate him yet because I have the figure out how to make you fly. Ask. What? Must have a standard. Okay. Who is this woman who speaks your words? Let's see. This is not woman. Shell is empty. Woman is gone. Why you speak of it as human? It is machine. When it expires, we'll find new machine. We not speak human language. We buy slave. We fix slave's brain. Slave become machine. Machine speak human. Slave not need whole brain anymore. Excess brain was tasty. Wow. So they ate all of her brain except the part they needed to translate their words. Damn. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, it's an acquired taste, right, Dark? I mean, it's an acquired taste. It's the kind of thing that I can see people being like, I mean, I can imagine some people bouncing off it because there's so much reading and it's a slow burn, this game. But I think if you're connected and interested in story, which is what this show is all about, then definitely it fits. What is that static in the air? Ha ha ha! That is our thoughts. That is how we speak. No need for clumsy words like you, stupid human. Tell me about your people. What to say? We are Murdens. We hunt. We find. We take. Humans hate us. In world outside, we flee from them. Here, we rule. Here, humans fear us. Autonomous sensory meridian response. So, I'm not 100% clear here whether I should be trying to intimidate them or not. I may have to reload this, but... Kill, hate, kill, eat, destroy. Yeah. Yeah. No. Nope. I don't want to get into a fight. Shoot. Man.
You bet.
I mean, I could handle them, but I don't want to get into fights here if I can. But I could handle them.
Sure.
Cleverly made bed lies at the back of the cell, cobbled together from scraps of wood and rope. Alright, let's talk, Skuro the Faceless. This creature stirs and mutters at your approach. Though the form is recognizably humanoid, her head is horribly disfigured. Something has wiped her face clean of features, leaving an expanse of mottled and bulbous flesh, save only a horrifically enlarged mouth and two small holes where her ears should be.
What would you have with Scurry? Though my looks have been stolen, scribbled away by a million thoughtless particles, I can hear you breathing. I can taste what others can only smell. Your fear, your exertion. Tell me, if you had lost your sight, what price would you pay for its return? A new taste, a strange one. Will this one help me? Only one way to know.
I would give anything. Sight is important to me as it must be to you.
I'll remember that. We are in agreement, then. This contains a piece of the iron wind, the nanostorm that blows across the world and reshapes all in its path. It is my most prized possession, the culmination of my labors, and it was not worth that which was taken in its taking. I would trade it in a moment if I could only see again. I can taste the strangeness of you. You are different from the others here. I beg your aid.
Damn. These are, What happened to you?
I was a nano once, a researcher on the cutting edge of the science of nanospirits. In particular, I sought to harness the power of the iron wind. But the shields, my shields, they gave way around me, and the iron wind swirled in and found me. I captured some of the iron wind here, but it still remade me. I was cast out, an abomination, and now I skulk and beg for my living. At least the Murdens fear me.
What do you want me to do for you?
Do you not listen? I am blind and I would see. I don't care how it's done. Restore my sight, and I will give you my jar of wind.
Examine the jar she holds. Made from an opaque, battered metal, it seems to thrum with energy. Small lights flicker in the air above it. Skora's lips slobber into a toothy smile.
My pride and my punishment all in one. And if you want it, you'll help me regain my sight. If not, you'll never know its wonders. Perhaps he is interested. This is good.
Wow, so we gotta make one person fly and we gotta make another person see. Outstanding. I'm just gonna go to the Miracle Worker. We need to find Miracle Max. Let's go find Miracle Max. Let's see what we can do. Okay, Broseph. Beneath the grate, a vertical shaft descends into darkness. Faint whispers echo from somewhere far below. Manacles hang from the ancient stone plinth, but they're rusted and useless. No one has been chained here in a long time. Alright, what is this? Essence of a single sigh? Malachite tinted bauble filled with ashen vapor pulsates at the touch. When peered at long enough, it invokes an intense feeling of solitude. The examiner never knows whether to embrace it or shun it. Okay.
You want it done right.
Skora's abode. This place is not that large, doesn't look like.
Are our bonds.
This old metal door looks fairly solid. It has a single mechanical lock. You notice that the mechanism appears complicated, suggesting that it's more than just a simple lock. Okay. Let's examine it more closely. Embedded within the locking mechanism is a thin bladder of air, and as you look more closely, you realize the bladder is somehow connected to a series of tubes. This is a trap. A cunning, ingenious trap that is beyond the skill of the Murdens. It must be part of the original design of the door. Okay, let's try to disarm it. Okay. Moving slowly and methodically, you trace the trigger mechanism to a pinhole nozzle in the front of the door, which leads back to a small reservoir. It contains a dangerous substance that would be sprayed on a hapless victim. After disabling the triggers, you remove the reservoir from the door. You are now the proud owner of a small sack of molecular acid. That's what we need right here, guys, right? Everybody needs it, right? You need a little bit of a sack of molecular acid. Haven't you often said to yourself, you know what I don't have right now? Molecular acid. Okay. Alright, let's pick the lock. Oh, for God's sake. I cut it down to 80%? Come on. You manipulate the lock successfully and the door unlocks with a satisfying clunk.
Sure, I'll remember that.
Rumblings of discontent. Find the missing patrols. Oh, we found them? We found them, or what's left of them. Strips of flesh have been torn from this corpse, and the eye sockets are empty. Judging by the armor, this is one of the Memovirus thugs. So the Murdens found him and they killed him. Well, crap.
Yes.
This dead man wears the uniform of the Memovirus thugs. He was killed by a sharp blade, probably not long ago.
Fine.
I'm glad I opened that door. Man suffered a serious wound to his abdomen and probably died recently from loss of blood. Wears the uniform of the Memovirus thugs. Skinned creatures hang from wooden poles, dripping blood on the ground. This room must serve as the Murdens' larder. Charming group, the Murdens. Lovely, lovely group of people.
If you're sure it's safe.
Am I sure it's safe? I am not sure it's safe, actually. Oh, really, Discalte?
Learning begets doing. Or is it the other way?
Someone's behind that door. Shinwise? Hello? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Time sensitive. That sucks. I didn't realize. I don't think I spent that long. Hello? Is someone out there? I know you're not Murdens. I can feel their blasted mental noise, and by all the gods, I hope you're friendlier than they are. Please, you have to help me. For the love of everything you hold dear, please open the door. Dear gods, let it be a rescuer. I don't want to die. I guess I rested too often. Yeah, I guess so. I didn't even know that was a thing. Oh well. Who are you? My friends call me Shinwise. Please, I don't want to die. Open the door. What's trying to kill you? I don't know. I don't know. Tentacled images that hang around the edges of the room. There's blood and bones all over the floor. The Murdens threw me in here, locked the door behind me. I think I'm supposed to be some kind of sacrifice. All right, let's get this door open. With a click, you unlock the door and it grumbles open, revealing an emaciated man in tattered rags, a look of profound shock and fear on his face. Behind him, blood and bones litter the floor. The man is short and dark and his face is scarred and disfigured. One of his injuries is freshly branded on his cheek, a stylized blade with blood dripping from it. He wears the ragged clothes of a bloom slave, tattered and filthy. He tries desperately to push past you. Let me out of here, I beg you! This is no fit place for a human. Yeah, no, I'm not going to do that, Gross. It's going to kill me. I'll do anything to get out of here, even if I have to kill again. You need to answer some questions for me first. Alright, but please make them quick. I don't want to be eaten. What's that symbol on your cheek? It's the mark of a murderer. Even if a killer survives bloom slavery, people will always know who they're dealing with. They use a special brand that shines through makeup and disguises. The brand's no match for cast-off constitutions, though, no matter how many times they try. It's true, I killed a couple thugs in the underbelly. Wait a minute. She? Oh, Matkina, that's my person. I'm like, what? It's true, I killed a couple thugs in the underbelly. But it was them or me, honest. Folsom turned me over to the levies because the ones I killed worked for him. Otherwise he wouldn't have cared. Tell me what's in the room. Why does it frighten you? The floor is covered with blood, the bones are snapped in half, and the smell of death is everywhere. I don't know what's in here, but I've seen things. Tentacled things moving around the edges of the room. Is he insane? How does this room not frighten him? What are you doing here? You know that auctioneer outside the Memovirus fortress? The one with too many teeth? He sold me to a merchant, supposedly to open a maw. And the merchant sold me to the Murdens. It's not even legal. Nobody's allowed to sell slaves to the Murdens. The Murdens threw me in this cell. I saw them cast another slave into this room before me. I heard her screaming. So much blood. Please let me out. Who are you? My name's Shinwise. I killed a couple thugs down in the underbelly. That's why I'm a bloom slave. Alright. Yeah, go ahead. Without a word of thanks, he bolts past you and down the hall, vanishing around the corner. Thank the gods. I may be killer, but I don't deserve to die like that. So he goes up there and gets killed by the Murdens. You people won't believe the things I've seen. Like tears in the rain. Jesus. I love the candle sacrifice thing. We're going to go in here and there's going to be a sacrifice. There's going to be an attack. That's what's happening, but we're going here and here anyway. Manacles hang from the top of these blints. Blood and viscera cover the floor around them.
Yes. Now.
Something about this room feels off to you. A sensation of being watched and evaluated. The bloom's walls bulge and press, glistening with a faint sheen like they're beginning to salivate. The space has somehow begun to wake. Great muscles contract in a rippling peristaltic wave trying to pull you further into the room. Your instincts stream of danger. Okay, I want to see what's here.
I can't hurt it.
Okay. Let's see. Let's activate this dude. Animate Balefire. Alright. fail, goddammit. Alright, well. It was worth a try. Okay, okay, so that's... These are all items. Is this a, when hurled. Is this a one-use? Does anyone know? I mean, the cipher, it's a cipher, but this is an item. Oh, no, it's also a cipher. So this gets consumed, too.
I don't know what this is, but I like it.
Okay, so that way that cipher's not getting used. Perfect, let's get some armor going. Yeah, he usually says, so what's up, Kyra? How you doing, man? That's some pretty badass armor, actually.
Pulling a sliver. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, miss on the balefire. Good to see you, Cairo. What's going on, man? Nice. Okay, let's see. We got Makina. Blinded, 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 blinded. That was pretty awesome, actually.
Something you might not expect.
Waplow, Makina.
Barely
Kabam!
scratched this thing.
That's right, you missed, because you're blinded. Again, that's right, you missed.
They have me surrounded.
Yeah, 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 they have you surrounded. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, Broseph. Let's go with chemical.
Try this out.
Alright, good. I am enjoying me some of that balefire.
Let's go.
Okay. Nice, dude. What's going on, EA? How are you, man? Yeah, Don Cairo is a good friend, very good role player who's playing as part of my 2 campaigns now, actually. Infinity Beyond. He's also playing as my Adventures in Middle-earth crew. So you guys should definitely give him a follow. Cairo is a good dude. Alright. What do I want from you?
Thought that would work.
God damn it, 85%, really?
Alright, here I go.
Ah, I barely heard it. Try something else.
Thing ought to be dead by now. Ow. Oh, really? The hell was that? Did he just blow up and like what? I think he just blew up. Hey, that's deeply troubling.
They call me the Witch for a reason.
Dude, this is so weird. You looked at a Klein garden. Oh, that's right, the kindergarten. Oh man, EA. Kindergarten, I remember it well. I remember it well. Actually, my son may go through it. It's, you know, we'll be going through kindergarten in a few years, but that's exactly right, X5. You say whatever mediocre qualities you have from my streams. Well, I appreciate your mediocrity then, if that's what you call it. That kind of can get back there. Let's do it.
You will suffer. I can barely scratch this thing.
Damn right you missed. Okay, just trying to hit it with like trans-dimensional. How about that? Out of range.
Yes.
I'm ready for whatever comes.
Try this out.
Whoa. Hit that thing like nobody's joke. Alright,
Of course. This isn't doing very much.
it's alright, I'll take it. Don Arvin Cairo, dedicating his streams to be on ARV streams of the best high quality. Oh, come on, I'm out of range. Won't be out of range in a moment. Here. There you go. That balefire is doing some serious work. Yes. Okay, merging with the others, gathering together. Nice. Oh, I thought it was a kindergarten. Oh, whoops. An external garden for people in cities don't have their own plots living in an apartment. Oh. Well, damn it. Because I guess it's true, your oldest wouldn't quite be ready for a kindergarten anyway. A noise rises from the corner in the room, something like wet meat sliding across itself. And then the sound of meat tearing, and a new maw gapes hideously in the wall. Hey, we opened a maw, people! I heard there was a maw in the slave block. It's always been a place to hide things.
On it.
Alright. To the treasure trove! Hell yeah! We actually didn't even get hit during that fight.
On it.
Hell yeah, the treasure trove. 2020 vision. Oh. Wow. Okay. I'm just going to allow chat. Guys, those of you who have played games where you get to loot things, I'm just going to let you feast your eyes here. Let me zoom in for you. Chat, your thoughts. Your thoughts, chat. Oh, I didn't know that, EA. Okay. Brightly colored bits and bobs from a small pile here, all of it completely worthless. This immense pile is comprised of shiny baubles, decorative objects, broken bits of Numenera. Most of the treasure has no practical value whatsoever. I'll bet some of it does, though.
I'm ready.
I don't think I noticed the notch. What is the notch reference? Yeah, I got the black metal frame. That was one of the things that I needed. And Soul the Forgotten. Casket is all that remains of a forgotten people who once lived and prospered in the Ninth World. Their names are etched into the lid in markings that resemble no known language. While beautifully engraved on the outside, the casket is minimalist, even bare on the inside. A single pastille lies within, containing the essence of those who created it.
I'll remember that.
Okay, I'm going to have to go back to that. Actually, let me save it. I want to see that thing right now. You're holding a small box in your hand. Yeah, no, I got that, but I didn't understand where the reference was. I know who Notch is, but I didn't know what the reference was. Is it the pick? Are you talking about the pick? Oh, the pickaxe picking away at cubes. Oh. Yeah, I guess so. I guess those are cubes. Yeah, I can see that. Shaped like a casket and beautifully ornamented with writing etched into the lid and markings that resemble no language you know of. By contrast, the casket is minimalist, even bare on the inside. A single pastille lies within. Inspect the markings. A skillful hand etched these markings deep into the lid. The glyphs are intricate and strike you as ideogrammatic, but you can't decipher them. There is a word you don't get too much. Ideogrammatic. And yet they seem obviously familiar, as if you've seen them before. If not in this life, then in another. Where have I seen them? A memory blossoms, but it's hard to comprehend what you're seeing. It's as if seen through the eyes of someone not human. Do you speak this language or do you not? You see your fingers trace a pattern on a set of glyphs very similar to those in the casket's lid. Almost reflexively, you repeat the pattern on the lid. The casket lid opens, revealing that a small blue figure with long spindly limbs has now appeared, lying atop the pastille, opening some of his many eyes to look up at you. The finger clambers up to sit on the edge of the casket. Several eyes are focused on you, blinking at irregular intervals. He starts speaking in a high, wailing tone. You can't understand a word he's saying. Recognizing this fact, he picks at the pastille and reaches it up towards you. Oh, Jesus. Oh. Creature closes its many eyes and wails again. Seeing you unresponsive, it crushes the pastille between its hands, blowing the powder into your face. A sweet odor overwhelms your senses, giving you a strange sense of mental restfulness as fragments of memories flit through your mind. You get the sense this was not how the creature wanted to share this memorial, but you're given some cognizance of his people. You understand that the people memorialized by this cask, damn it, now I wish I'd eaten it, were a secluded people, now long gone, eradicated by some cataclysmic event. You feel the nature. It's similar, Duscalte, but I think... You know what? Before I answer incorrectly, I'm going to look it up. Because I know the basic of what it means, but... Yeah, so it means that's what I thought. So basically it's like a character or symbol that represents an idea or a thing. So it's very similar to pictogram, yeah. You feel the nature of their existence as if it were a tangible being. You get a hazy sense of their accomplishments, but a nasty, thick veneer lies over it. Excuse me. These people accomplish great things, but a petty jealousy saw them hamstring each other's accomplishments. This may well have contributed to their end. As the cognizance ends, you find the creature gone, the casket now burning with a cold fire in your hands. In mere moments, it is nothing but ashes drifting away between your fingers. Interesting. Okay.
Go.
Oh my god, what? Canarads releases a brilliant flash of light whenever the button on the side is pressed, and strange images form in the block's cracked crystalline panel. It's an overhead projector. Heart of Mali. Pendant is composed of lead set with a heart-shaped indentation filled with a green liquid. No matter how you turn the object, the acidic-smelling solution does not tip out. Liquid seems to gently slosh as if it had a will of its own. When placed against skin, the metal grows warm and sizzles gently until it becomes fused, though it causes no damage. It can easily be peeled off without leaving more than a mild blister. While bonded with the pendant, the wearer feels a sensation of contentment, tinged with childlike wonder and confusion at the shape and nature of the world. Item seems to hold some manner of charge, one that slowly builds through the tick of time and ages. Point of magic, speed, intellect per turn. Wow. I have 7 out of 8 ciphers right now. Damn. There's a lot of ciphers.
Yes.
I want to loot all this stuff first before I interact. Compass of the Navigator. What is all this cool stuff? Seems to be a compass of some sorts, runes and eye-twisting markings lining its edges. Compass arrow swings in seemingly random directions as if it were trying to steer you. Ooh, 20% movement speed. Look at that. 2 armor, 3 resistance. This cloak is made of solid gold feathers held together by an unknown force. Whatever causes them to adhere to one another also keeps the weight from your shoulders, as it is surprisingly light to wear. When struck, the feathers stiffen, offering protection to the wearer. When the wind blows through the cloak in a certain way, the feathers rustle together, the soft tingling reminiscent of a child singing. Ooh. I don't think I have a cloak. I do not. Yeah, look at that. Aw, yeah. That cloak, though. That's cool. Jeez, how far did I have to get into the game before I could get a cloak?
All right.
Astronomical Marecaster. Oh. So we'll be doing a Marecaster thing in a bit. The Kobold Ori depicts a solar system far different from your own. Tiny planets orbit and rotate soundlessly and endlessly, the pattern of their paths no doubt revealing alien destinies and prodigies to be puzzled over by learned beings in some distant unknown place. Here it is merely a novelty, though one that invites contemplation. This floating pendant, invisible chain, pendants in the shape of a tiny simplified brim. It has no apparent weight when held or worn. The invisible chain snaps itself around the wearer's neck when that pendant is held to the chest. Okay. Okay. Let me check this out, and then I'm going to check out that Marecaster. Tucked away in the flesty abscess is a sculpture of a pickaxe embedded in a jumble of stone blocks. Near the sculpture's base is a bronze plaque. Examine the plaque. Better to swing the pick than strike the vein. Shins are shackles and treasures chains. Okay, and the pickaxe. Shining metal handle towers overhead completely out of reach. You couldn't touch it without climbing the sculpture itself, and even then it looks far too heavy to move. Pickaxe trembles and you blink. You felt the motion in your mind. You may actually be able to affect this sculpture with your thoughts. Let's try to free it then. You focus on the handle of the pickaxe and think, move. It twitches, but nothing else happens. Shutting out every sound around you, every tremor in the floor, and the soft thumping of your heart, you pitch your full attention against the shape of the tool above you. With a hoarse scraping sound, the pickaxe retracts from the stone blocks, and a waterfall of shins cascades from some inner recess in the sculpture into a pile between the blocks. As you reach for the shins, a strange feeling of revulsion sweeps over for you. I don't like it. I don't like it. No, sir, I don't like it. I do not like it. Okay. Let's do that Marecaster, shall we? As soon as you place this device in the palm of your hand, the stately dance of the clockwork planets mounted upon it becomes a frantic spinning reel. In the heart of the being of the thing, a contemplative hum grows, as though the machine itself were studying the path of the planets above it. Listening, you hear shadows of words within that sound, speaking of the mare within this device. Okay. You study the world of planets in your palm. Your eyes might be deceiving you, but it does seem as though some of the orbs are slightly transparent, and that tinier planets are orbiting within them. Okay, let's do it. Here we go. My decision was wise. Yeah, it seemed like it was all kinds of red flag, don't do this. Alright. Blue. Once you had 24 words for all its hues and shades, metaphors to glaives' capes and courtesans' eyes. Now the sky is just blue. The ground is stone. The man before you, fat. Now all is vague and drab, like... The memorialist sees you've stopped, and he halts as well. "Let's have a rest, then," he says, passing you a bottle of fortified water as he catches his breath. You knew a word for that, too, this drink they brew in the Valley of Dead Heroes. Gone. We aren't far from his cenotaph. The fat man wipes his brow. Deep in your pocket, your hand feels for the round tin that holds the worms. Your fingers clutch it tight, and as they do, they brush a piece of paper. "Are you his shadow?" the memorialist asks abruptly. "Caligat Anvor, I mean. The one you came to see." Without waiting for a response, he barrels onward. "We thought he'd cast his shadows among his own kind. We reasoned that with the Tabat gone, his line was lost forever. But shadows fall where they will, as they will. Caligat Anvor, Tabat, shadows. They flit around the edges of your mind, escaping your grasp. But the worms, they are well within reach. Shall we continue, pilgrim? One more short hike will do it. Your body is ready. Your mind is not. Caligat Anvor, shadows, Tabat? We live in a world of darkness, pilgrim, and each of us is just a shadow of one of the great heroes buried here in this valley. But there's a light that shines behind the world. To know it, we shadows must measure ourselves against the heroes who cast us, and thus learn the light that lives beyond. I thought you set out on this pilgrimage to visit the tomb of Caligat Anvor because you were a shadow, that you wanted to stand before him and find enlightenment. Am I wrong? Are you his shadow or not? I don't know. That's how it is. I met pilgrims who swore they were lords and ladies of old, but when they reached the grave, wept in shame. But I've also seen a novice stumble across her hero by mere chance. If you find Caligat Anvor, you will know who you are, or are not. Just over that rise is the monument. As for his tomb, you said that the cenotaph would lead the way. I can't see how, but for the famous puzzle breaker of Sagus Cliffs, I'm sure it will be simple. Okay, let's examine that paper. I will want the worms, but I will be strong. I will wonder what I have lost, but they will only rob me further. I will endure, and I will build the tower of my intellect anew. Caligat Anvor will furnish the material. The mind link, not the worms, will be my tool. The mind link. A dead-eyed trader from Haref sold it for the last of your once great heap of prizes and bounties. Now it's slung from your belt, a hideous mask with a synth tube hanging off it like some Satoshi tentacle. Okay, well, the hell with that tin. I don't want to do that. Let's go. I want to see the cenotaph. As you follow the memorialist up the crumbling path, he carries on about a time when all the roads in the valley were as well paved as the streets of Sagus Cliffs. Then, reaching the hill crest, he falls into reverential silence. When you catch up, you see the sight that awed him even for the 1000th time, a clutch of exquisite monuments ranging from vast to miniature, from abstract to eerily lifelike. The memorialist points to one of them, a many-sided slab of black stone, and gestures for you to follow. This must be the cenotaph of Caligat Anvor, Tabat General, and would-be world conqueror. Up close, the cenotaph is not so remarkable. Its faces are adorned with gruesome stylized reliefs depicting the Tabat and their Dragolith mounts trampling the corpses of their foes. Next, neat geometric glyphs encircle the panels. Like the images themselves, they are embossed rather than engraved. Of course, Caligat Anvor isn't here. Like the other heroes, his body's in one of the cells in the catacombs beneath us. This is its own sort of shadow. All memorials are. Let's examine the images. No doubt some historian could tell the tale behind each panel. What doomed race the Tabat annihilated here, what grand battle was waged here. But to you, they're just an ugly blur that tugs at shameful memories without ever quite dragging them to the surface. This is not the knowledge you came for. On one side of the cenotaph, there's something else. An obscene picture, crudely etched rather than raised, its edges scorched black. It's a graffito from just after the Tabat were beaten, carved the plasma torch by a bitter nano. The visual pun on Black 3 must be obvious. Sadly, we can't possibly fix the damage. Okay. What seemed at first individual glyphs are far more complex. Smaller symbols assembled into larger patterns, linked into chains, twined and twisted into knots. Never a tangle or ramble. It is more mathematical or scientific notation than language. Running your fingers across the glyphs, you see that they shine briefly under your touch, then fade. Perhaps there's a formula here to be solved, a structure, a higher hidden order to be found. Perhaps here you could catch glimpses of the Tabat's military mastery. But the sieve of your mind holds nothing, and any secrets slip right through. Blue Paywolfina, what's up? As you struggle to decipher the symbols, the memorialist hurries over. This one means war, he says, illuminating a cluster repeated endlessly on the cenotaph. This one, death. He picks out others and shows how the ideogram for soldier weaves into warband, which can in turn mesh into column or army. Excitement grows in his voice as he leads you to another panel and shows you the unique markings that compose the pattern for underspine. A high council, we think, or god. Could it be a puzzle to open the way to Kalagat Anvor? Study the basin. Carved into the cenotaph's plinth is a wide, shallow bowl, perfectly smooth, perfectly ovoid. In its center is a small drain that runs into the monument. Around its rim is a geometric pattern, simple and composed of a single recurrent shape. You recognize the symbol, blood. Of course, could be nothing else. Sacrifice the memorialist. No. Beneath your guide's worried gaze, you nick your wrist and drizzle some blood into the bowl. Nothing comes of it. Whatever flows through your veins will not slake the stone's thirst. Just kill the whole guy. Let's find the correct sequence. You trick yourself into thinking you can crack whatever code the stone holds, but neither logic nor luck makes any headway. The glyphs shine and fade, but nothing happens. Given the endless combinations, not even the persistence you had of old could break through this lock. Oh, really? So I have to kill the guy, or I've got to eat these worms. Is that what I have to do? I have to kill the guy or eat the worms? Tin is old and unremarkable, scuffed and dented, but sturdy enough. It opens easily. Inside is a mound of worm-like grubs, blind and thin, barely moving. Your fingers itch and tremble. Your nostrils flare. You no longer know their name, but you know exactly how to use them. Careful not to spill the precious contents, you close the tin and slide it back into your pocket. Well, yeah, because the only other option is to kill the guy, and I'm not going to do that. That sucks. Gripping a grub beneath two fingers, you slip it into your nostril and breathe as deeply as you can. The worm works with you, eager to reach its meal. You feel it squirm the last stretch, and then pain like a knife stabs your brain, and you know the worm is feeding, eating gray matter and pissing neurostimulants, letting your mind reconquer the vast territories it has lost. Nematodes, that's what they're called, not worms. And cerulean, that's the sky's color, not blue. The rush of understanding overwhelms you. You read the world's unwritten words, devise stratagems, unravel mysteries. Your brain races with the speed brought on by the worm's piss, and through your thoughts run the Tabat symbols, spinning, twisting, combining, and dividing. There's a meaning here, tangled in amid the knotted glyphs, and your mind is unraveling it surely. But not fast enough. Your thoughts become painfully, shamefully slow, and the puzzle you felt so close to breaking now seems impregnable. Another worm. Just one more, and your mind, honed like a sword, will slice through the skeins. You're sure of it, so sure of it you find yourself sniffing in anticipation, a predator on the scent. God damn it. Damn it. Your fingers race across the glyphs, which now do not fade as you progress. Rather, with each touch they grow brighter and brighter. You can hear the excited gasp from your guide as you reach the last side of the cenotaph. With a flourish, you press the final symbols. The skein ends in war, of course. Blue light pours forth from the cenotaph, forming a kind of shimmering portal. Through it, you see hints of a room. His tomb, whispers the memorialist. A smile sneaks onto your face as you see the way before you. You step toward the wavering energy field and stare at the blue-tinged tomb beyond, the resting place of Kalagat Anvor. I will pray that your hero waits within, pilgrim, and that you find enlightenment at his side. Tomb's walls are bare stone, as is its floor. In fact, the room is empty except for the sarcophagus that sits at its center, a crystalline numenera that hums with ancient, indefatigable energy. Bathed in the portal's light, the room feels almost underwater, a sensation heightened by the air's unnatural weight. The sarcophagus is divided into three parts, a wide bier, an elongated pentagonal coffin, and a curved lens-like lid. Yeah, I agree. The bier is decorated with familiar glyphs. You recognize war and death and purity among them. But these designs hold little interest. They are just catchwords, and they will teach you nothing of the Tabat genius. The coffin, for its part, is a single hulk of milky aquamarine. Its lid is less opaque, and through it you can see the corpse's silhouette. Most importantly, you notice a simple locking mechanism holding the two together. Opening the sarcophagus would be a straightforward matter. Okay? A few twists of the coffin's cylindrical locks, and the lid rises up with a hiss of icy, age-old air. As the mist clears, you see at last the face of Kalagat Anvor. You feel nothing at the sight of him, never having known the terror of his triumvirate. His inhuman features are slightly mummified but well preserved. His ebon tabard is faded with time that even the sarcophagus could not keep at bay. But it is his head that matters, not his clothes. His head and its brain and the insight sheathed within, an edge keen enough to cut through the tangle of your own failures. It's a good sentence right there, that whole sequence. His head and its brain and the insight sheathed within, an edge keen enough to cut through the tangle of your own failures. It's nice. I will use that. Once you slip the helmet over your face, you can't see and can barely breathe. Trapped in the massed, damp darkness, you fumble for the socket at the base of the corpse's skull. At last you find it and, still struggling, try to bring the conduit tube into contact. Suddenly the darkness explodes with light, the nebulous patchwork glow of your own mind, and beyond it, the glorious mandala formed by the thoughts of Kalagat Anvor. Hello, Vinolainen. Welcome. A mote emerges from that pattern and a confused voice whispers, "You are not the Underspine." Almost instantly, the geometry of his mind transforms into a star fortress from whose bastions dagger-like shapes stream forth. "You will not taint my thoughts." The Tabat voice rumbles as his fleet soars towards you. There's no time to try and reason with him if that would ever be possible. It seems madness that he fears you could pollute his mind when merely fending off his force shall be at the limits of your worm-wasted will. Mount your own attack. You came here to hone your mind, and perhaps this is the way to do so. Fend him off. You came here to rebuild your mind, not to offer it up for Tabat pillaging. Let him in. You came here to fill the vast gaps in your mind. Perhaps this will be the swiftest way. You knit shut the ragged fringes of your mind, focusing and contracting yourself into a tight, hard core bound by its will to live. The cutting thoughts of Kalagat Anvor flash at the perimeter of your defenses, probing, testing, seeking entry, but to no avail. At length they withdraw to the bot's own pattern. For now you are safe. The texture of the general's mind ripples as he arranges his thoughts, absorbs what his scouts have scraped from your mind. At last, like a messenger, a sphere spits off from the pattern and floats before you.
Pilgrim, I have seen the secrets you keep from yourself, the endless battle you meant to end, and the red wreckage your solution left behind. I am unmoved. I killed more, lost more, and fell farther without surrendering the truth. You have come because you would prove yourself again, through me, by me, but I am not your underspine.
What is the Underspine?
The guardian of the Tabat soul. To use your words befouls the meaning of my thoughts. It is obscene that you call this tongue truth. The Underspine is a filter through which our minds flow, cleansing us of distraction, subversion, novelty, and doubt. You cannot comprehend.
What'd you see in me?
Fear, vanity, weakness, deceit. It is your duty to know yourself and to be yourself.
A thin, silver sliver of thought shoots out from his mind and stabs into your own. It is an image, a battlefield strewn with countless corpses and shattered war machines. A regal woman stands beside you, rigid with rage. Puzzle breaker indeed. The image, be it memory or Tabat deception, fades away, and Kalagat Anvor offers no more. Okay, let's study his mind. See a wide crescent of Uriel reavers, ready to sweep down on an outnumbered but unfazed band of Tabat scouts. You know they will fight free because Anvar knew it then, before the battle even began. You see the city of Sagus Cliffs rising above the plains like a beacon, a treasure, a false icon to be smashed to pieces. In the depths of the general's mind, jagged, violent thoughts seem to be mustering as if for war. At the moment, they are scattered and in some disarray. How about warfare? Fill the emptiness in my mind, attack his mind, attempt to break the mind link. See, my worry about doing number 3, I don't think that warfare is going to help, but my worry about 3 is he'll be like, I will fill your mind, and then he's just going to like take over my soul or some crap like that. I don't want to attack it and plunder. Let's go with that. Conquest holds its own doom. The risk is too great. Join me. Death is not told that Debat's weapons are his will, and he has used the time and the mind link to gather his forces. And your mind, for all your bold gambit, languishes in worm-worn decline. Well, crap. With wild violence, this didn't work. His sharp-edged thoughts hack through your memories and fears, doubts and despairs, tattering the fabric of yourself. You watch helplessly and with failing comprehension as blue-black blotches spread across your mind. Too long have you traded the substance of your strength for the worm's flashes of brilliance, and now you've nothing left to stem this rout. In the end, it all means nothing to the masked fool crouched beside a corpse, drooling, moaning, and weeping without knowing why. Oh, damn it. Well, crap. That sucked. I don't like how that ended. That sucks. Oh well. I mean, I could reload and do it again, but whatever.
I'm going.
Yeah, I think I handled that right all up until that last part. I should have asked him about warfare, but I didn't want information about warfare. I don't know. I thought I should have realized I probably didn't have the power to hold him out. Oh well. Okay. So, turn to Drakeage into the Cortex. Find the missing patrols. I have. Bring the frame to Orthfong. I will. Find a way to restore Skora's sight. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with the decisions. You know.
I'll handle it.
It's disappointing, but it's fine. You know, I just...
On it. I'm ready.
Just fouled it up. I mean, it didn't necessarily feel like a foul up, honestly. Like, it felt fine as, like, what I did. It's just sort of a crappy outcome.
Learning begets doing. Or is it the other way?
I'm going.
There's always next playthrough. Yeah. This is like the old Infinity Beyond games. Sometimes a creature that was placed somewhere stays up and then dies. Like, so you could see it was like, roar. Yeah, that's true. I mean, right, exactly. That's a good point to Skalte. Okay. All right, Bruska. You need something? I don't have time to pay the guide. I found your men in the old slave block, but they were dead already. Murdens. I don't suppose you slaughtered them all while you were down there, did you? It doesn't matter. There always seem to be more. Can't see how we'll ever be rid of them. Gods, and I'm trapped here playing butler for Her Majesty. Well, you have my thanks anyway. All my men are accounted for, and some of them even still live. That's something. I guess with these headaches out of the way, I can focus on more important matters now. Important to some, anyway. Memavira is so afraid of her own skin, she's willing to let men die just to keep me close. You said you had other important matters to focus on? Well, it's not really your business, but then neither were my patrols, and I owe you that much. The Memavira, you've probably heard. See you, JLC. I didn't even see you come in the first place, JLC, but see you, man. You probably heard she doesn't leave the fortress anymore. Well, that's because of the way the Bloom's been acting lately. And I think I know what the Bloom's behavior means. She should leave is what it means, but she's too damn proud for that. The Memavira doesn't ever leave the fortress? Never, not for months. She's afraid of the Bloom, of what it might do to her. She thinks the closing and shifting of maws is a message. A warning. What does the Bloom's behavior mean? Do you know how that Memavira came to power? They say the Bloom helped her, that it turned against the old Memavira and destroyed him. I was a kid, just a green mercenary at the time, but I remember the way the Bloom changed. The old Memavira could, well, not control the Bloom. I don't think anyone can do that, but sort of coax the Bloom to do what he wanted. Then one day the Bloom just stopped responding. Maws closed or reopened in horrible places, and a few weeks later the old Memavira was gone. The Memavira sees the similarities too and doesn't want that to happen to her, so she's shutting the Bloom out. She doesn't know what to do. I'm worried there's nothing she can do. And what'll happen to the rest of us then? You said the old Memavira just disappeared? They say the Bloom ate him, but I think it's worse than that. I've seen him late at night sometimes, or in the dark corners of the Bloom. An old ghost in rags and a long beard. Maybe I'm crazy, or maybe he isn't really dead. Either way, I don't want to know. I know what I saw. The Bloom didn't eat him like we thought. Not all of them, anyway. Well, I've seen him. Okay. Alright. Thank you for the follow, Raises, on my channel. Welcome to the Urbonauts. I think I got this, didn't I? I'm pretty sure I got those ones. Dracogen. More patrols? I found the 2 patrols. I don't understand. I found the 2 patrols. Alright. I found 2 patrols already. I don't understand. She said there were 2. I found them both. One's dead, one isn't. I did. What the flip? I found them already. Want this cortex?
Yes.
Still can't hand in that quest.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah, there's been a few of those.
Yes.
Take a sip of the yellowish water. It has a greasy texture and a slightly sour taste, but it quenches your thirst. You take another sip, and you start to hear whispers. They're faint at first, but they grow louder, resolving into the chittering voices of the Bloom. They buzz in your ears, scratching at the inside of your skull. You stumble, struggling to keep your balance. Even as your senses dull, the Bloom's voices seem clearer than before. Okay.
Consider it done.
I mean, I guess, but that's a weird bug. I mean, it wasn't like I went and, like, left the Bloom entirely and then spent hours away. I mean, I rested a couple times, but if I found him dead, it shouldn't matter, right? I mean, they should just be like, oh, you found them, and so... A whole 2 experience, yes. Very exciting. Can I? No, 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 no.
I'm going.
Alright, let's turn in that quest in the Surgeon Slump. Which is up... here.
Got it.
Right there. Okay. Well. Okay, let's take care with the, let's take care of the, I want to turn this in, and then while I'm here, see if I can find a healer and ask about flying. No, no, no.
Sure.
There's the dude. Alagurn, I hope that all progresses well. What's the frame I'm looking for? It doesn't appear that the Murdens have damaged it extensively. It still seems to have that constant low hum of power, and yes, yes, this will do nicely.
I need to talk to you.
Pull one of these halfway out, Ollie. Yes. Yes, yes. My friend, I forbid you to use your tattoos anymore. Unless you enjoy throwing your family and friends. My family? I thought this might be happier news for you, Alagurn. Do you understand what I'm saying? What are you saying? I'm saying that all this time, Alagurn, you have been carrying around your family and friends. They have been transmuted into energy and transplanted onto your forearms. Those creatures you saw, nothing more than a visual representation of the deconstruction process. Your family wasn't devoured, Alagurn. They're alive. His family are his tattoos? I know, right? Well, Fina, seriously. His family are his tattoos. Orth, are you saying that I've been using my family and friends as weapons? I've been stealing their power to defend myself? Have I damaged them? How do I restore them to humanity? How many times have I used them? Why did I never count, never think? Well, yes, you have been using them like that, which is why I suggested that you take special care with them, but they may not have suffered ill effects. I cannot say for sure. All you need to do is reactivate the frame and they'll be restored to you. We can evaluate their progress then. Why is this not working? Orth, why isn't this working? Perhaps it requires a special activation sequence, Alagurn. Is that true, Orth? Could that be it? Perhaps, yes. If this device functions as a matter decoherence and imprinting transfer, it would necessarily require a passcode of some sort to unlock it. It wouldn't do the ancient users any good if they accidentally recorporealized their passengers, would it? It would require an act of intentionality. So, do you happen to know any extremely powerful psychics? Someone stronger than a mere mind reader? One of them might know how to unlock this code from your mind. But I am no student of the psionic arts, my friend. I have done for you what I can, and frankly, I think my efforts have been sufficient. I might know just the person. She's back in Sagus Cliffs. Once we're out of the bloom and I'm done with this cast-off business, I'll go find her. I'm forever in your debt. You've been sufficient, and more than sufficient. You've been heroic. I will... Stronger than a mind reader, eh? Gods, I hope she's still living there. Haha, that's a good one, X5. Yes, Thursday is that session. You gave me a puzzle, Alagurn. It was a delight. Though if you could explain to Min just how helpful I've been and tell him how I unlocked the secret none of them could, that would go a long way toward clearing this debt you mentioned. Well, my work is finished. I really must return to my position in the Order.
Ready to learn
Farewell.
something?
Wow, it's pretty cool. So, by examining the frame, discovered that Aligarn's living tattoos the transmuted forms of his family and friends. Once he's helped me deal with sorrow, Aligarn now has a plan to restore them to life. He was uncharacteristically emotional, and I got the sense that he's extremely grateful, not only to Fong, but to me as well. Cool. That's what I like to see. Alright, let's level you up first of all. Concentration increase, strength from ink. Except I thought he wasn't supposed to use the tattoos anymore. Alright. Scanning array. Energize. Drink to the dregs. Max effort +1 on attacks. Okay. Animate Balefire. I already have that with the other guy. Energize. Energize. Mind-controlled scanning array. Okay, he's closing in on leveling. She's a ways away. Medkina's not that far away, though. Okay. Cool. That is, okay, so let's chat, Aligarn.
What do you need?
I don't know how to thank you for your help with the frame, with the tattoos, with my family. I know I haven't been the easiest companion, or the most trusting. I hope now you know why I behaved as I did.
I just wish... I wish we'd know sooner. I'd have stopped using the tattoos. If my family, my friends are damaged, I guess we'll see what happens. It'd be funny after all that, I'm like, I think it's best we part. He's like, what? How are you holding up? I'm fine. Appreciate you asking. Story. Let's talk about a traveling party. I met Kaina. About Rin. Okay. Alright. Good. Okay, so now I need to talk to that person with the experiences. And I think the woman in right here, the surgeon's person, this person over here understands experiences very well, actually. The traveler fills my doors again. What brings him here this time? Do you happen to have an essence that would provide someone the feeling of being an aerial predator? The essence of the hauntry. A fresh creation newly born. A feather and a beak came to my door, the small machines within still writhing and trying to rebuild. Look amongst the bottles for your needs. Alright, what do we got? Also, let me sell some of this stuff. Okay. $2,538 shins. Not too shabby. Okay, so one of those things. Yeah, I'll talk to them too. Actually, I'll talk to them about the sight thing. I'm going to talk to them about sight. That was my plan. Okay, what am I looking for? Essence of Bravery. Sarek's Essence. Impure Essence. 1,000 Years of Rest. Ah. There we go. Essence of the severed tongue. Essence of the Elder Unigram. Element of quickness. Alright. Let's go talk to the healers. I need you guys to fix some sight, if you can do it. Can you fix some sight? Can you fix some sight? Ah, friend, welcome back. Oh, you return. I hope something is wrong with you. By which I mean I hope that we get to treat you. By which I mean, of course, that you're fascinating. Just fascinating. Do you know any way to restore the sight of someone without eyes? Without eyes? Were they destroyed, or is this inherited? Was this a creature that has no visual cortex? It makes no matter. I can restore light to any living creature. Any. We restore the blessing of sight, and with just a few minor side effects. Do you mean restoring sight and retaining independent nervous autonomy? That is, without scooping out portions of the brain? The subject should retain her faculties, yes. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. I know only one procedure that meets the specific qualification that she retain all her faculties, I'm afraid. It is long work. Long, hard work. Long, hard, expensive work. One of Overbitch's eyes should do it, but this cast-off. We cannot pass up this opportunity. It would require compensation worth more than coin. Perhaps if you found us an interesting test subject for investigation, we could consider a fair trade. And when I say perhaps and could, I actually mean that it would suffice. I see where Dr. Demaray is headed with this. He would make an excellent test subject. So he's looking at Overbitch and Demaray is looking at him, huh? Expensive and time-consuming. What about all the eyes your colleague has in his head? Did he undergo all these surgeries one by one? My friend, these eyes provide a valuable function for me, and they are not simple baubles to be handed out as favors. They are affixed to me and provide certain insights. Blast. Very well, very well. You've caught us in a slight embellishment, as one might expect from someone of your mental caliber. Did I not tell you that our friend's intellect was something to be admired? I did. We don't necessarily need a subject, I suppose. But I did not embroider the truth entire. This is an expensive item. To replace it will cost us 280 shins. Booyah, 280. Such a possible contribution to knowledge and learning lost. I hope my esteemed colleague will cheer himself by thinking of how we can advance our research, the expenditure of these funds. I believe our guest is waiting for something. What? Oh yes, my apologies. Simply place this eye on the recipient's face and it will do the rest of the work. Easy. What if I put it on my own face? It will likely not work. And it would scoop out a portion of your brain in the attempt. No, sadly, I cannot recommend that you try it. Okay. Farewell. Cool. Alright, guys, we got us an eyeball. Let's go restore that person's sight. And by the way, since we're about halfway through the show, this seems like a good time to remind everybody that you are watching GOG.com Twitch channel. You are watching episode 90 of Pen and Pixels. This is my story and narrative-based show that I do once a week on this channel, looking at games with story and narrative content, such as this one, par exemple. If you like what you see in here, please make sure to follow the channel and support the different people who stream on here. My name is Arvin Eleron. I am your host in this endeavor, and I stream on my own channel as well, so please make sure to check that out. And all of us here, and if you get a chance to subscribe to GOG, please do that as well. Thanks, 6-5.
Of course.
Okay, right. Okay, I'll take care of the Murdens in a moment. First, I want to get rid of, I want to finish up with this quest up here.
Why do you return? What have you brought to poor Scora? He returns? Few have done so. Maybe... No, best not to get my hopes up.
I have an eye for you. I see.
Sweet sight returns. I welcome it, friend. Arrgh! So much pain, yet nothing compared to how I lost them. Did he speak true?
After what seems like an eternity of her screams and moans, Skora pulls her hands from her disfigured face. She tilts her head up at you and her mouth stretches into an involuntary smile of pure joy. You wave your hand in front of her face and the eye tracks it naturally, cleanly. She throws her arms around you, sobbing with relief and happiness.
I see! The lights! The shadows! The bloom! Never has this meat hell looked so wonderful. It has rebuilt the entire structure. Amazing! More investigation required. Here, more trouble than it was worth.
Who knew the bloom held such wonders? Alright. Oops, wrong one. Good stuff, good stuff. Okay, guard jump thrums with energy seeming almost alive. Contains a small part of the iron wind, dangerous nanospirits that warp and transform any manner they touch. Alright. Let's level this up. Start with this first. Onslaught. Sow dismay or mind control.
My understanding has increased.
Okay. Lovely. Awesome. So, how is it being able to see?
The world is beautiful, friend. Even this day forsaken place.
It's like a Cyclops now, but they can see. Well, good. I'm glad I restored, brought a little joy back to their lives. Now it's time to make a bird see. Yep. I do remember that. Okay, Murden Chief. I got your flying potion here.
You free our slave.
We pay for slave. You owe for loss. I owe you? You should be grateful to me. He would have been more trouble than he was worth.
Humans always cheat, Murden. No more cheating.
You didn't buy that slave legally, did you? Parson Flint wouldn't have sold him to a Murden.
No.
Little fat slaver would not sell to Murden, so we steal slave from merchant. That is truth.
You so smart?
We give better deal. Pay us 200 chins or we kill you. I'm going to do that because I don't want to deal with this situation so far. He's like, what? I have a Hauntry essence. It will give you this. Actually, let's go with this first. The chief blinks at you for a long, slow moment as if trying to absorb what you just said. He obviously can't believe that a human would keep his word. He snatches the proffered essence from your hand, uncorks it, and tilts a healthy swallow into his mouth. His avian eyes widen as the drug hits his system, and his beak opens and closes involuntarily. The other Murdens grasp their weapons, looking at each other, unsure of what to do.
Is human poison, Chief? Chief alive? Near dead? Kill human? Kill? Take dirty cloth to Dirkman. You complete bargain. Peace.
What? I'm not gonna freaking... I have to pay you 200 gold each time? Alright, I am reloading that, because that's ridiculous. I am reloading that. That's absurd. Shouldn't have to pay you 200 chins twice for the same transaction. That's not happening. Alright, good. I am not doing that.
Go.
So you want to yell at me once, you can yell at me once. You don't get to do it twice. Oh, that's a known bug? Okay, okay. Good. The one chin. What's up, dragon? Yeah. Okay, it's a... Well, so... Okay, so... Hopefully this missing patrols thing will take care of that. But also I can bring back the standard.
All right. Yes.
Okay. I think he's in the surgeon slump. Or stump, whatever it is. If I'm not mistaken. Slump, yeah. Okay. There we go. I got your standard, Broseph. You again? I think you're missing something. I am in your debt, Castoff. Truly I am. Name your price. By the gods, I never thought I'd see this again. Never imagined I'd care either. If you're truly in my debt, then I ask that you face the maw. My soldiers! Time to see how a man faces his fears. I knew a Castoff would be the death of me. Resolution etches its way into Artaglio's face as if he knows he's walking to his death. But there is no falter to his step, and he carries himself erect and strong. Drawing on whatever well of bravery let him ride into the face of enemy fire serves him well now. As he walks, you see his chest expanding as he puffs himself up. Bloom tongues reach out and stroke his head almost lovingly. They fasten more firmly to his skull. Strange. This doesn't hurt at all. It's like the bloom is just shuffling through my memories. I remember leaping from the wailing cliffs. Renard, do you recall our battle with those slimy things? And oh, and the Skyriders of 5 Cliffs. I'd forgotten so many of these moments. Why was I so afraid of this? Sated at last, the maw opens wide. I open up the thing to the trading post. I don't know if I feel good about just having thrown that guy to his death. But I feel like it's very hard in this game to act honorably. Yeah, I'm gonna check that later. I want to turn this into the Memavira's guards first, and then I'll go back. Oh man, I don't know whether that was the right thing to do.
Yes.
Ah. The second time today I've felt bad about something that happened in the game. Not bad like annoyed, but just kind of like, you know, it's unfortunate. Okay. Now is this quest turned in? Are you good with this quest now? I did that. Suck it up.
Begets doing. Or is it the other way?
Wish it could have gone better, like bad. Yeah, exactly.
Go.
Suck it up. Oh, man. Yeah, I didn't get cheated either time. I mean, I don't know. And he might not even be dead. It's just... blur. This thing annoys me with this thing with the post, though. With the, what do you call it? I mean, this thing, Covetous Hearts and Rumbling of Discontent. I've completed both of them, and it's not letting me do it. I find that that is an irritating bug to me. Okay. Alright.
Go.
A scene of horror lies before you. The walls and floors turned against the inhabitants of this chamber, opening toothy orifices to drag them down and devour them. Judging by the half-devoured wagons and other debris, this was a market of some kind, or a trade post. To your left across the room is a massive slumbering maw. Its mouth gapes open and a portal shines within. Well, damn. Probably gonna get into a fight in here. To the Ascension. Alright, let's explore in here, and then before I do this Ascension, I'm going to talk to Dracogen. Mouthful of thorny fangs gapes in the floor. It's dormant now, but the teeth are wet with blood. Toothy orifice is frozen in the act of devouring a table. You notice small notches in the wood on one side, tallying sails or days spent in this nightmarish place. The fleshy ground is torn here, revealing a mass of glistening, boneless creatures. It's not clear if they're parasites or some foul progeny of the bloom. This round orifice is rimmed with rows of razor-sharp fangs. Human flesh and hair cling to some of the teeth. This gaping orifice must have opened beneath the wagon, and bloom tendrils pulled it down. Behind the massive glands that block the doorway, you see nothing but solid flesh. This chamber's been cut off from the rest of the bloom. And this is not for the faint of heart. Okay. Let's loot those two things, get ready to attack those bloom tentacles. Grab this, and then I'll talk to the tongue cluster. Alright. Let's chat, tongue cluster. A wriggling mass of tendrils rises from the ground. They remind you of the tongues that surround a maw. Writhing and twisting around each other, they make wet, unpleasant sounds. Out of the corner of your eye, you catch a subtle change in Metkina's movements, a tension that tells you she has encountered something like this before. Her bearing suggests caution, but not fear. Bloom tongues. Gods, I hate going this deep into the bloom. Metkina, do you know what this thing is? After careful thought, I guess that it's a bunch of bloom tongues. I've heard rumors, stories from people who've been here a long time, the crazies and addled heads. Tongues only grow like this in the deepest parts of the bloom. Must have dragged this whole chamber into the depths. Okay. Let's see, what do we hear? With the water of the bloom coursing through your body, you can sense a difference between the voices here and the ones you heard at the maw. This particular tongue cluster has roots that extend throughout the chamber, and its whispers control their movements. Okay. Okay.
Done.
I don't understand what that was all about. I couldn't really... Okay.
Yeah,
It's
that's
odd.
something I could do.
Anywho... Let's talk to, Dracogen.
Yes. Now.
Alright, Dracogen. This better be worth it. Better be worth it, Dracogen.
Ready.
I mean, I have a flask. I still need something else. Oh, okay. Well, we'll see. I have a flask of bloom water, but... Okay. Right. You return again. Ask a few more questions. Wait. What? Who was I turning this into? Oh, the Ascension. Oh. I forgot. Okay, so I need to get the thing.
Ready.
I forgot that I need to get this artifact for the guy from the Ascension. So I will do that now. Is that some kind of a lurking icon, Welfina?
Yes. Now.
Yes. You could tell, by the way, that how much fun the writers had working on a world like this where they're given, you know, essentially open rule to do whatever.
Yes. Now. Of course.
Okay, here we go. You emerge from the portal into an alien world. The air is thin and bitterly cold. The sun is a tiny white globe in the sky, casting dim light over a landscape of crystalline beauty. You see no sign of organic life, only glittering crystals in every direction. By the Black Three, such beauty. I never dreamed. Okay. Let's do the continuing then. Alright. Sounds too.
Of course.
The Builder, huh?
Yes.
Whoa. Shelter is built from a variety of exotic materials. Synth steel, pliable metals, and adamant silk. Looks like it's been here a long time and has probably served many different groups of explorers. Hello? This tall, weathered man nods to you. He holds himself stiffly as if something will crack off if he moves too quickly. He glances at your tattoo and smiles. Hello, Castoff. I'm Doran, Prophet of the Changing God. It's been a while since we've seen anyone come through here. What's your business in the Ascension? I'm looking for a circlet of dark hyaline material known as the Magmatic Amulet. Have you seen anything like that? Now that is interesting business. Sadly, I cannot help you. We've seen nothing but pretty lights. To be honest, I think that's all there is to this place. What does it mean that you're a prophet of the Changing God? A title only. The cultists of the Changing God believe I have a special connection because I found some well-hidden secrets of your father's once. Between you and me, I just got lucky. What secrets of the Changing God did you find? Nothing that would interest you. An old workshop of his with some trinkets. I didn't understand any of it, but the cultists were ecstatic. They drafted me as a prophet and confiscated everything. Well, everything I didn't sell first. Fair compensation for my efforts, you know. Are you related to the cult of the Changing God in Sagus Cliffs? We are cultists of the Changing God, yes, though I'm afraid you have little to do with our colleagues in Sagus Cliffs. There is not a lot of oversight between our churches. What are you doing in the Ascension? Seeking? We have it on good, though possibly outdated authority that this place holds more of your father's secrets. We found nothing yet, however. Until we do, we're enjoying the sights and the silence, the crystals and the lights. Our pursuits have taken us to less pleasant places. What can you tell me about this place? Very little. There are crystals, there are lights, there's no one to talk to and little of value to find. It's a lovely world, but I fear we may be wasting our time here. Alright, see you. Okay. This tall, lithe man is an unkempt shock of bright red hair. His skin is ashen as if colored by the dust of old tomes. It's been a long time since he's seen a real sun. His smile is thin and twitching, and a demented light burns in his eyes. Okay. Another cast-off. Another echo. Who are you? As Clarion, I act. What do you mean you act? The prophet Doran hears, and depending on what he hears, I act. So you do what Doran says? No, I act on his words. Sounds an awful lot like taking orders to me. It would to you. You don't know what we are. We do not tumble about the world like you do, inflicting little damages or claiming to be more than we are. We listen. We decide. Then we act. But no one tells us to do so. Can you tell me anything about the Ascension? I can, but I won't. The Prophet Doran will decide what you are allowed to know, Echo. I'm looking for a circlet of dark Hylian material. It's called the Magnetic Amulet. Have you seen it? Why did you call me an Echo? The strong are those who act. They change the world, break the sky with their thunder. And then there is the Echo, a weak imitation of the Source's fury, claiming to be more important than it is. Cast-offs are echoes of him and deserve none of his glory. I've heard of other cultists who worship the echoes, fools all of them. The Source is what matters. There are many cast-offs. Even if you think we're weaker than our father, don't we have a large effect on the world? Or I claim no more importance than I deserve. Yes, certainly. An echo has power of its own. It can shake mountainsides, create avalanches that bury villagers. It doesn't make the echo clever. An echo simply goes where it is sent. They're all the same. They all want to impact the world, while their father simply does. I am worship. Worship me! I know, right? You think all cast-offs are echoes of the changing god? What are you, then? A man like him. A man of action. You're a loony. So the Prophet Doran speak to him, not me. These people are odd. Okay.
One moment, and it's done.
Whoa.
Of course.
The pretty lights. I have to, again, just comment on the art design. You know, the art design was really well done with this. Really captures this wondrous collection of stuff while still maintaining some connection to what Numenera theoretically is. It's impressive. They have funny walks too. I know. I love that. I love that Monty Python skit. Massive crystalline structure looks like a shrine of some sort. Colored lights float about inside, each one like a tiny galaxy trapped within the crystal. As you approach, the crystal begins to hum. The resonations shake your skull. Resonations. The humming shifts and increases until you hear a voice. Greetings, Patterned One. I am the speaker. Welcome to the ascension of Kex Lianish. I am sorry, but the Oracle no longer exists. Revelation. The Oracle was immortal. Time was the weapon that killed her. I regret that without the Oracle, I will have very few answers for you, but I will do what I can. Why did you call me Patterned One? Patterns are what we do, Patterned One. Life is pattern, and your life more than most. Your thoughts hold a certain shape, a shape I've seen before. A man came through here long ago. He did some work here, I believe, or maybe came to hide something or find something. He never revealed to me his true purpose. The man who shares my pattern, I need to find something he hid. Do you know where it might be? I apologize, but I do not. Investigation was not my specialization, only speaking. Revelation. The speaker can speak to all sentience, even those that did not exist at the time of its creation. You said revelation in a different voice. Right. Yep. You said revelation in a different voice. What does that mean? You are mistaken. Speakers are not authorized to grant revelations without the oracle's permission, and the oracle is no more. Revelation. The speaker cannot hear itself give revelations. I wish that I did have some revelations for you, Pattern One. Alas, that time is long past. So it gives revelations, but he can't hear it. Wow. Do you know anything about the other humans over there, Doran and his companions? I do not, nor do they know anything about me. I will not speak with them. Why won't you talk to the other humans? I do not trust them. They don't taste right. I cannot explain it. Revelation. The speaker tastes a strange pattern to one of the humans. 2 patterns of thought where there should be 1. What does it mean that you're the speaker? My full title was once the speaker for the Oracle of Kex Lianish. I heard questions from pilgrims, relayed them to the oracle, and then conveyed the oracle's answers via revelation. I gave wisdom to this entire world. Now I speak for no one, and I have few answers to give. Revelation. When the speaker dreams, it dreams of weeping. Sometimes the tears are made of light, others tiny black gems. Can you read my thoughts? No, but I can taste them. Among other things, that's how I know to speak in your language. What's this? Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, their concept art for this is really good. What was the oracle? You are standing on it, or rather what remains of it. The Kex Lianish built the oracle to answer the most difficult questions of existence. Then the Lianish left. The oracle remained for 100,000 years or so before it broke down, I suppose. All that's left of the oracle are the phobits. Revelation. The phobits were not always sentient. Cogitation. Would they have become so if the oracle had not chosen disintegration? What are phobits? We are the phobits, the sparkling lights you see inside some of the crystals. If the oracle was a brain, then we were its neurons. Each one of us had our own job, our own specialization. You can't speak to the others, of course. That is to say, they're perfectly intelligent, but they're entirely unaware of you. The only reason you and I can speak is because of my role as speaker. The others weren't made for communication or perception. Revelation. Common phobits were used to store activation states and simple information. Some may still react to basic physical stimuli. If the other phobits are sentient, then could you speak to them for me, or at least make them aware of my presence? Of course, but they know nothing. I don't see what interpreting would... No, there is a way where they could help. Several phobits in the area were in charge of transmission tracks, communication pathways connecting the oracle's smaller subsystems. When the oracle passed, those pathways became obsolete and their phobits quiescent. But those tracks could serve as bridges to help you explore the area. Revelation. Like humans, the Lianish also required physical structures for traversal. Only a few phobits specializes in areas requiring this knowledge. The speaker is not among them. Try to interact with the phobits. When you do, I'll ask them to activate or deactivate. They may not all be as helpful as we'd like, but I think you'll figure some ways to get around. What happened to the Lianish? I do not know. They left one day, abandoning the ascension entirely. Perhaps they ascended to a higher form of life. In any case, they did not need the oracle anymore. Okay. Let's talk with the phobits and see if they are friends with the 5 bits. Or the 3 bits. Okay.
It's a plan.
Kind of thought I'd be able to,
I'm there, in the shadows. Consider it done.
Interesting.
See are our bonds.
Oh, these are now... Are these now open?
You got it.
Consider it done.
Phobits, I can interact with those. Yay! I can interact with the phobits. Neat.
Let's
Yeah,
go.
neat.
You and me.
That's super cool. Super, super cool. Okay. And Medkina's ready to level up, actually. What do we got? That's easy. Assassin. While hidden or attacking a blinded enemy, automatically kill the target if it's below 40% health. Automatically kill the target? Oh, man. Wow. Okay. 1 point remaining. Press advantage. 30% critical success chance on attacks against targets with negative fetals. Illusory warrior. Myalgic dust. Scatter bomb. Hello, Inquisitor. Press advantage, I think would be really useful, actually. About halfway there. Okay.
Yes.
This crystalline structure is distinct from all the others. It looks older, more fundamental, but by no means basic. It's one of the more complex structures you've seen in this place. Large portions of it glow, emitting a low, rumbling hum that you can feel in your chest. Blurry lights flit across the surface of its largest gems. Are you a phobit? Can you speak? You get the strong impression the pulse means yes. What is your function? Let's see. When they reappear, they show a flat crystalline plane. Then one by one shards emerge. They bud and sprout in the shape of the other phobits. As you watch, they continue growing, creating ridges, walkways, stairs. In one corner, you see the speaker flower out of the crystals. In a matter of seconds, this entire region of the Ascension has taken shape in the image before you. This phobit built it all. Wow. Have you seen the magmatic amulet? Human figure walking through the Ascension into a cave. After a while, it leaves the cave. The image shakes and the cave entrance is gone. When the cave entrance closes, it doesn't look like a simple collapse. Crystals grow up from the ground as if they're intentionally blocking the way inside. Why did the cave close? Show me the creature. Multi-legged clawed creature. You closed the cave, didn't you? Can you open it again for me? Alright. We got the cave to the amulet open. Spirit magic helmet. Spirit magic helmet.
Yes.
I feel like I'm wandering through the Fortress of Solitude.
Learning begets doing. Or is it the other way? Alright, here I go.
Nice. Let's loot up there.
Yes.
Cool. Alright. Here we go, guys. Time to deal with a crystal creature. Hey, Jedi. Time to deal with the crystal creature. I hope that it's not a double feature. I think I'll ever see anything this beautiful again, not even if I live to be 90. 90, here's hoping. Longer than that.
It's a plan.
Screenshot. Okay.
Yes.
Get ready for the attack. Maybe not.
I'm ready. On it.
Thinker's Cap. +1 intellect edge, +1 damage per effort applied, maximum +6 on esoteric attack, negative X -2 intellect pool. You know, given how large my intellect pool actually is, I think that might be useful. So this is 50% movement speed, 2 speed pool, -2 to might. So 22. So if I took this off, that would give me 20. And if that would give me an intellect of 18. So what about that? Does anyone have any suggestions about this? So if I replace this, +1 damage. There's also plus damage +6. So that would be, so basically I'm exchanging 2 intellect pool for intellect edge, which cuts down on the amount of intellect I have to use. I feel like that makes sense, right? Because I have such a big pool. Because my edge now of 5 means I don't have to spend that. So edge is better. What's up, Nonstop? Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. Cool.
All right.
Well now. This device seems to be the source of the low hum that permeates the cavern. It's receiving power through thick cables from 2 large machines against the wall. Okay, it's a field of energy.
Let's go.
The machine is similar to the one next to it, but doesn't have any sort of interface or control panel. Oh god, it's just a whole mess of stuff. Phobit appears to be trapped in the central crystal. It flickers excitedly.
Yes.
All the cables in the room connect to this bulky machine and its twin. They generate a low rumble that you can feel in your feet. As you approach, a screen lights up. A strange maze-like rune flashes angrily in the center of the screen. 3 other glyphs revolve slowly around it in an elliptical orbit. A bolt of lightning, a set of parallel lines, and a circle. Alright, we're going to find more of that a little bit later.
All right.
Dull and lifeless, no visible way to activate it, okay. Okay, have I explored? I think I have. I think I've explored all this area. Alright, so... Picture appears. Looks like a technical schematic of the device behind you at the center of the room. Source of the low hum. Let's decipher the runes, shall we? See, that's what I mean. Edge, and I didn't have to use anything. Critical success! Yeah. Nice. Stat pool, spent on effort restored. Although you can't read the runes, the gist of the message becomes clear. It's a warning about the device with the 2 crystals at the center of the chamber. The device is deteriorated to an unstable state, and any fluctuation in power is likely to result in an interruption in function. Runes do not say what will happen if the device ceases to function, or if they do, you cannot decipher it. Okay. Assume that's power. 3 large crystals to your right. Symbols flow into the image, currently receiving power from the machine before you. A circular symbol glows next to the image. Each time one of the symbols enters the image of the crystals, the circular symbol pulses brightly. Pressing it would likely cut the flow of power to the bank of crystals. Circular symbol dims, symbols freeze in place, no longer marching in the image of the 3 crystals. To your right, lights on the bank of crystals fade. Phobit blinks and chirps, then one of the large crystals finally freed from its imprisonment. It zips around in the crystal, makes cheerful noises in your direction, and vanishes in a flash of light. Okay. Yeah. symbol in the pod line up? Alright, let's find out what that does, shall we?
Ready.
Okay, control interface. Written in the truth, you can understand them. Only two functioning options are check status and access data. Let's check status. Stasis pod empty. Error, self-diagnostic failed. Cannot open stasis pod. Primary functions offline. Data integrity 67%. Alright, let's get that data. Corrupted experiment notes. Oh, great. Alright, let's access the first one. Preliminary investigations suggest that Mazov was correct. The crystals of the Ascension bear the properties we require to complete the resonance chamber. The amulet proved invaluable in reaching this place and may have other uses besides, so it'll be some time before I can return it to Dracogen. Much more experimentation is required before I can know for certain whether the Ascension holds what I seek. Okay. Second experiment. The secretions of the crystal vor are one of the few substances I found that can eat through the living crystal of the Ascension. I've had several larvae brought here for that purpose. Dracogen exudes patience with regard to the amulet, but I've dealt with other Dracogens before. This must be the changing god, then. He will only remain patient for so long before he decides I've cheated him. No matter, I fear the sorrow more than I fear them. Okay. I have several experiments running simultaneously while I wait for the crystal to grow. True to their name, the crystal vores have proven quite adaptable to this environment and invaluable to this part of the process. The Ascension natives may prove useful as well. I had ignored them initially, for although their speaker is capable of cogent communication, it's proved useless in providing any real information. However, I've seen some other natives accomplishing some remarkable feats with the crystal itself, so I captured one for study. Not anymore. We shall see if there's more I can learn from it. Okay, several of the crystal vor larvae hatched prematurely and escaped. It's unclear how it happened, but I suspect that someone came looking for the amulet while I was buying supplies in Sagus. No doubt they tampered with my machines in their efforts to find it. To prevent further sabotage, I've placed the amulet and the remaining larvae behind an energy field. The power generator can open the field, but it now requires a passcode sequence to ensure there's no further tampering. Okay, so it's down there. I am not foolish enough to record that sequence here, but should something happen to me such that I forget, the 3 geodesics through the Berry Center are the key. Voice says nothing more. If that was supposed to be a hint, its meaning is unclear. Perhaps it would make more sense in looking at the power generator itself. Well... let's see. 3 geodesics. Through the you hope it's solar powered. Alright, we'll find out how this does. Alright. Fifth one. These experiments notes always end up badly. The escaped crystal vores are growing and breeding. They now constitute a serious threat to my work. I've built a device to emit sound waves at a very specific frequency, lulling the creatures into dormancy. So far, it appears to be an effective countermeasure, but I shall have to keep careful watch to be sure. I must also make sure that the power generator does not experience any interruptions lest they wake again. Go clean or bust. Alright, this will be my last entry. Dracogen's patience is worn thin as I knew it would. His agents are outside and will no doubt break through my defenses momentarily. If they do, I will have to abandon this body. I don't know when I'll be able to return, but I am... Okay. Voice in the sentry. I don't know what's happening. I woke in this cave surrounded by an angry men demanding something called an amulet. I don't know what it is, but they attacked me. I didn't know what to do, so I fought back. I killed them. The blood, it's everywhere. Some of it's mine, but most of it... I found these notes afterwards when I was trying to figure out what was happening to me. I couldn't figure out how to retrieve the amulet, but those men were sent by someone called Dracogen. I don't know what any of this means. I'm going to find out, but I'm leaving this message in case I don't make it back. I don't know who will listen, but... well, I figured I should leave something of me in here. Somewhere. In case I don't get very far. Okay. So, We're going to have to shut that power down so we can get that door open, and when we do that, the crystal vores are going to show up. That's going to be a joy. Alright, guys, you ready to do some bad things? Oh, wait. Try to figure out the key to unlocking the force field based on the clue from the experiment notes. Let's do that. Critical success. Stat pool spent and effort restored. The 3 geodesics to the Barry Center are the key. Watching the glyphs revolve around the central rune, the meaning suddenly becomes clear. The symbols increase and decrease in size as they move around the rune, traveling more quickly when they come close to it and slower when they're farther away. They aren't revolving. They're orbiting, and the rune is the Barry Center. The definition of geodesic... right. The definition of geodesic rises from the depths of your mind as well. It means a great circle track, the shortest line between 2 points on a sphere. On a hunch, you draw a line from each of the 3 symbols to the other, curving the line through the rune in the center. The symbols stop orbiting. Lines appear where your finger drags across the interface. Soon you have 3 curved lines connecting each of the symbols, 3 geodesics to the same Barry Center. The interface disappears, replaced by an image of some kind of field projector. Triumphant, you cut the power to the projector. Across the cavern, the force field deactivates. Okay. In before the crystal vores attack us. Interact with anything yet. Gonna loot first.
Yes.
Hello?
Of course.
Devouring shell. Smooth oval dome resembles a large egg sliced lengthwise. Silky but unyielding surface is marred by an irregular crack running most of its length, into which have been wedged many tiny crystalline rods. It emits a faint, sickly, sweet odor, and a slight shimmer envelops the rods like the air over a fire. The underside looks and feels fuzzy, though it's seemingly formed from the same substance as the hard shell. It clings to your touch, and when you pull away, you notice a drop of blood on your fingertip. You suspect it might be unwise to stay in contact with the object for too long. Alright? Could you please... Why can I not... Oh, yet another bug. It's irritating. Nestled among the crystal formations is a steel pod. Cables pass in and out of the pod, glowing with energy. As soon as you're within arm's reach, a shining interface materializes in the air between you and the pod. There are a few strange symbols arranged in a circle around a filigreed pentagon similar to the tattoo on your head. Okay. As you draw closer, the filigreed pentagon glows more brightly. Your head becomes warm, but not uncomfortably so. When it touches the light, you feel a small amount of energy flow out from you. The cables in the pod pulse quickly, and the top of the chamber opens with a hiss. The only item inside is a hyaline circlet as black as the sky behind the stars. A magmatic amulet. You remove it from the pod and take it with you. The chamber hisses shut and the interface vanishes. This is really annoying. Why can I not get to the bloody... Alright, I'm going to save this as continuing. And then I'm going to reload it. Because I can't loot that thing. I don't know what it is, but...
Yes.
It's irritating. Okay.
All right.
Sure.
Of course.
Alright. I don't know what that thing was, but... I got Drakeagen's thing. I did get closer to it. Like, really close? Alright.
Got it.
Alright, we'll see. I will endeavor to get really close to it. Really, really close if I possibly can.
Of course.
Ah! You're quite right, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Okay. Deals 36 energy damage, confers Dazed, Hero's Fury. Bright silken string is innocuous. When rubbed between the hands, it starts generating its own heat and energy, eventually uncoiling into a whip of dark red crackling energy. When it strikes an enemy, it tightly constricts itself around the target. Nice. Thanks, Escalta, yeah. You are correct.
Yes. Now.
Success. Okay. Good. Alright, let's get the hell out of here.
I'll handle it.
We're going to drop this off with Dracogen, who should then be able to advance us in the main story.
I'm going.
Yeah, I thought I was fairly close, but I guess it's actually even the Infinity and Beyond games, the Infinity games, engine games, sometimes had that problem now that I think of it.
On it. All right.
Wait a minute, is that thing sealed off? I bet that thing is sealed off. Yep. Greetings again, Castoff. Whatever you did in that cave has caught the Changing God's attention. He knows you're here now, and he's asked me to destroy your mind. Do not resist. Yes, of course. It won't be long now. Don't waste your time speaking to him. Take his mind. You said you weren't really a prophet. I lied. Your father speaks to me. He's told me that he has need of your body, and I've learned over the years to trust what he says. It's time to return your father's property, Castoff. Changing God is trapped in my mind, though. How can he be speaking to you? In your mind? I don't... Did you think I would let myself be rendered helpless? I'm never without power. Ah, it seems that he is in your mind. But maybe you've forgotten who we're talking about. The Changing God has been alike for centuries, maybe more. He would never let himself be trapped or rendered helpless. He is never powerless. I'm proof of that. Doran is but one of my tools. You are never beyond my reach, Castoff. When did the Changing God start speaking to you? Years ago. Ever since his device attached itself to me while I was exploring one of his abandoned laboratories. He's asked me to tell you that the erasure of your mind will not hurt. He will simply nudge your mind into oblivion and take its place. He will be among us at last, thanks to you. It won't hurt, Castoff. It's only nudging your mind into oblivion so that I may have my body. What is that device, anyway? One of his mouthpieces. I picked this relic up, examined it, and discarded it. But then it shot up from the ground and chose me. Claim me. Your father has spoken to me ever since. How does this erasure proceed? Simply, just bow your head and your father's mouthpiece will leave me temporarily to bond with you. You will close your eyes and it will be done. It must be exhausting. It must be impossible knowing that your every breath is borrowed, that your discoveries do not ultimately belong to you, and that your only marks on the world will be the ones he does not wipe away. Thankfully, we are here to take that burden from you. It's time to sleep, Castoff. It is time to surrender. Intimidation time, people. Okay, well, we'll take a look. I'll give you one chance to run. Just one. Be smart. I'm sorry, this was a mistake. I'm not strong enough. I don't want it to... Fool! You are less than worthless. I'll find another way to retrieve my body.
I'm starting to figure this weird place out.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Ossified trifolium. Three-leafed plant as black as pitch, hard as stone. Pressed against an article of clothing. Right, Welfina? Like, he's dead, Jim. Exactly, Funkmaster. Like, the stem extends and insinuates itself into the fabric. When the leaves are brushed, the wearer sees a vision of a young auburn-haired girl embracing a dark-haired boy before turning away, followed by a wave of visible intense longing from the boy before fading. It's like that Scanners movie. Yeah, it is. Gauntlet of Murder. This deep black metal gauntlet twinkles like the stars in the night sky. If you listen closely, a hum can be heard emanating from the glove. Oh, that's lovely. Slug Spitter. Long metal device with a narrow tube and a trigger mechanism. Has opening to feed tiny slugs of metal into the tube. Fires these slugs at a high velocity. Some slug spitters are cobbled together from Numenera, while others are ancient weapons that survive the ages intact. Producing a slug spitter from scratch is beyond the reach of Ninth World human technology. Damn! Hey, Hillness, what's up? Okay, so... Right, what do I have right now? A Bloom Bone Shard. That is no joke right there. 10 physical damage. This is probably better, what I've got. Okay. Loathing is what I got. Just remember that. Loathing
Maybe
is
I
what
can do
I got.
this.
Just got back from the National Museum of the Air Force. Nice, man. Well, you missed this guy's head blowing up. So, we've all been active. This deep black metal gauntlet twinkles like the stars in the night sky. A hum emanates from its surface. When you touch the metal, images flash through your mind, too quickly for you to make sense of them. That's awesome, man. Did you see some cool stuff? Let's examine the gauntlet. The metal it's made from is not iron or steel, but something more fantastic than metals of the Ninth World. Otherwise, it appears to be a normal gauntlet. You notice a crust of dried blood around the inside. Yes, you did. You missed a head explosion. You recall a story linked to a gauntlet that was involved in a string of mysterious murders. Each victim was seen sporting a single black gauntlet for a while and then later found dead, strangled, and missing a hand. A group called the God Club or something along those lines was mixed up with it. Anyone who wears the gauntlet is overwhelmed with sudden excruciating pain as the gauntlet actually consumes the hand and takes its place. Some victims find they cannot remove the gauntlet. Others can, but when they take it off, there is nothing but a stump underneath. Replacing the gauntlet over the stump causes it to reattach and function fully as the old hand. That is disturbing. Pay close attention to the image. Place your hand on the gauntlet again, focusing your mind on the images it gives you. They're quick, just vague impressions of the gauntlet's previous wearers. You see a shadow in the dark, the gauntlet holding a barbed knife in one hand and pouncing on his victim. A woman puts the gauntlet on her hand and screams. A Vargellan fights against a mob of 7, the gauntlet wielding a wicked mace just before he dies. Well, we're not going to talk anymore about that. Okay. So good. I got rid of that dude. Are these guys back? No, they are not. Okay. Right. Okay. Let's bail out then.
I'm ready.
Okay, let's get back there. Let's go to Dracogen. Give him what he needs. Oh, the maw is closed. Really? Looks like we'll have to find another way out. Interesting. I bet we're going to have to talk to this tongue cluster. Wait, what? I did?
All right.
I missed part of the map? Let me go check that out. Really? I didn't think I did. By the way, guys, this is as good as time in any is to mention that I've got about a half hour left, actually a little less than that, or so, before I give way to Chrono Wolf, who will be playing modded Fallout 3 tonight during his Night Howls show. But I would love to be able to advance this. I think I almost have. So, top right. No, because I think you can get... I don't believe you can get up there. Oh my god, you're right. Wait a minute. I must be able to get up there. I totally didn't even see that. I thought that was a block. Wow. Thank you. Warmth radiates from this device, providing relief from the frigid air. Could be the equivalent of a campfire, could have some other long-forgotten purpose, or both.
Sure.
Yeah, I totally did miss that. 6 points of might. Let's see. When touched by another object, a seemingly random color blooms from the point of contact, with the potential for it to overtake all of the crystal's hue. Pressing another object before the change is complete summons another color, and when the two meet, they blend into a third. The crystal will eventually turn black, resisting all further change until reset to an opaque shade of ivory.
Let's go.
Okay. Alright, let's find out what that does, shall we?
On it.
Even as it floats weightless in the air, the megalith bespeaks adamantine heft, perhaps because of its contrast with the surrounding crystals. The stone bleeds need, even hunger, and a telepathic whisper rasps the thought, product, in your mind. I need product. Okay. You don't hear any thoughts of the megalith beyond what it projects to you. If there is a mind here to read, it's impenetrable. Let's study it. Although from a distance it seems to be a single stone, up close you can see it's covered in many small scales, each inscribed with a different pattern, whorls and loops and arches as distinct as though of fingerprints. Whether it is a mechanical construct, a living being, or something else entirely is unclear. What do you want? Product. I only. No other. Give, give, I only. Return happy bubbles. What product? Please tell me what you want. Alright, let's pull off a scale. Digging your fingers deep under the scale, you rip and tug with all your strength. At last, the scale snaps off, revealing a tube-like fistula leading into the megalith's interior. As a small object rolls out of the tube, your mind explodes with the megalith's outrage. No, no, bad hatchling, no bubbles. As thoughts fall silent. Collection of crystals. What?
I'm going.
Okay, well that's... I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. No, I do not. Let's reload that. Man. That's the classic. You shouldn't have done that. Here, have some, You shouldn't have done that. Here, have a couple of bucks. Is what that is.
Yes. Now.
Bah. Oh well.
On my way.
All right. Hopefully I'll figure that out later somehow. Although I could maybe... Oh, did Golden Drake sub? I missed that in the if Golden Drake just did, thank you for subbing to GOG. I don't have that alert set up here because of this chat system. Long story. Anyway, but thank you for subscribing to the channel for GOG. Okay, I've already done that. So that's that. Okay. Now we bail out.
I'll handle it.
Okay. All right.
Of course we can help. Right, all?
Let's chat with the Bloom Tongues. Okay. Let's see. Touch the magnetic amulet. You grasp the crystalline artifact. At once, the voices of the Bloom grow louder, and louder still. They fill your consciousness, drowning out your thoughts, hissing and whispering, and chittering and buzzing. They're coming from every direction, from above and below, from nearby and far away. Swaying on your feet, you're nearly toppled to the floor. What's wrong with you? Slowly the bloom voices resolve themselves into their constituent parts, but now they carry sense impressions with them. Hey, welcome back, Chelsea. Hunger, curiosity, desire, each burst of bloom voices evokes a new impression in your mind. For a moment you let go of the amulet and the sense impressions are gone. The voices are nothing but meaningless babble. Then you touch the amulet again and the sense impressions return. You realize that the magnetic amulet is a translator of sorts, though the limits and scope of its power are uncertain. Okay, let's listen to the voices. Eager to touch your mind. A score of other voices gibber and shout from the dark corners of the room. Ordinary human voices that once belonged to the merchants, guards, and bloom guides who were devoured here. Fragments of their minds cling to life in their half-digested corpses, and they cry out in confusion, rage, or pain. Okay. Focus on the bloom voices coming from outside the trade post. What seemed at first like an indistinct babble is actually many different voices. Thousands of voices, each arising from somewhere else in the bloom. Some of the voices belong to individual maws, evoking impressions of hunger and need. Others resonate from deeper places within the bloom. When you concentrate on those voices, you experience flashes of intense emotion or catch fleeting glimpses of men and women being beaten or killed. Every voice is unique. Chittering, groaning, barking, whispering, rattling, hissing. Yet all of them are the bloom. Okay? You allow the whispering of the bloom tongues to penetrate your thoughts. Memories rise into your consciousness, trivial moments you thought you had forgotten. Just as you recognize them, they are swept away. The bloom tongues are sifting through your memories, looking for something. The voices dig deeper into your unconscious. What seemed harmless at first becomes irritating. A dull ache blossoms in the back of your head, spreading across your skull and down your spine. The pain comes in waves as if the bloom is trying to wrench a memory out of your brain. Nope. Okay. Clustered bloom tongues droop, their movements feeble, their voices no more than a whisper. Connection to the bloom tongues remains intact. Let's seize control. Tentatively begin to direct the motions of the tongues. It's a strange sensation, like having another set of limbs, but they respond to your impulses. Belatedly, the tongues try to resist, but with a bit of concentration, you quiet them like errant thoughts. These tongues, you realize, are a tiny locus of the bloom's consciousness. Their roots extend throughout the trade post, and now so do your thoughts and commands. Nice. Okay. So we have a lot of stuff that we can do. Hey, what's up, Mirinda? Mirinda, I have not had a chance to do this. I was going to be right after the cast. I was just going to be sending you a message quickly before I leave for Gen Con. Thank you very much. I really liked, actually, the character backgrounds you sent. And I'm going to be using the ones that you sent, actually, as some of the character options. And I gave you a proper credit. So thank you, Mirinda. Mirinda sent me some character backgrounds for use for these characters for this thing that I'm doing day after tomorrow on Thursday night. As I said, I'm doing this D&D session called Night of the Forbidden Library that I wrote, and so he sent me some stuff. So thanks, Mirinda. It's awesome. Blah, 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 blah. Release the human minds. Okay. Tortured minds fade and die. Good. Now restore the portal to Surgeon Slump. Alright. Well, move the trade post back to its original location. Okay. Success. The bloom is not going to be happy with me. I will definitely. Well, they are, because there's 8 of them, so someone's going to have to use them for sure. And yes, it's at 7 o'clock. That would be something I might do in the future if this goes well. I could see expanding this further. So I could see that, you know, down the line, basically. To the vast interior.
Trust and honesty are our bonds.
Assume I can't get them back, right? I'm going to guess. Yep, thought so.
If you think that's best.
Yeah, so I definitely will in the future. Like, be aware that I'll contact you definitely later on. Okay. That great jaw and the teeth. They're gone. Was this your doing? If it was, you have our deepest thanks. Indeed. Trade awaits us in the Ascension place. We should go, before Bloom Thing tries to eat us again. Yes, yes. But it's still damned impressive, eh? I thought the Bloom only answered to the Memavira. Where's she when we need help? Hiding in her fortress, that's where. Okay, no problem, Marinda. But Gristler's not going to be happy with me. You spoke to her, didn't you? To the Bloom, I mean. And she listened. No wonder the Memavira wants to get rid of him. That troubles you? Doesn't trouble me so much, but it might trouble some. I can find my way just about anywhere in this great big sack of piss and corruption. And I say that out of love. But even I can't reshape the Bloom. Guess I'd be careful about using that kind of power if I were you. The folks in charge might mistake you for a threat. Happens a lot around here, and I'd hate to see it happen to you. Yeah, I'll bet you'd hate it. This guy is so threatened to me. Threatened by me. Just threatened. Threatened. Okay. Now, what can I do for you? Blah, 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 blue. Oh, can you do anything to me? Because I took care of that already. Okay. Packing up for the Ascension, friend. We'll see you in the trade post when we return. Oh, I've never seen anything like that. Anything. Well, listen, I'm kind of a big deal. So, all right. Let's get back to Dracogen and talk to him. We got everything that they needed. I think I pretty much pissed the Bloom off to a high level though, so I'll have to be careful with that.
I'm going.
I do not think the Bloom is going to be happy with me. Let's see. I've brought the Cortex and wish to trade it in place of the amulet.
Ready to learn something new.
Your words are wise. I will accept. Acceptable, but not ideal. Take it. There will be other opportunities. This concludes your part of the transaction. Let me honor mine. Come with me. The Bloom will be your doom, yeah, I know. Right? So I took care of the, so I kept on it, gave it the Cortex. I was fine with giving him the Cortex anyway. This way. Draw any weapons and you'll die in short order. Ooh, what do we have here? Well, I don't want to turn in any beautiful bodies to that slaver, though, is the thing. The Memavira is a medium-sized woman, regal in bearing. She scrutinizes you with a look that manages to convey both admiration and disdain. Her eyes cut to Matkina. A slight tightening around her eyes suggests a wariness towards Matkina. So he escaped Mil Avest. A shame he chose to come here. Dracogen was effusive in his praise for your skills. I've been following your movements myself. You moved the trade post out of the depths. There are very, very few people who could manage such a feat. The Bloom has surely turned against me if he can do what I could not. I've dealt with cast-offs before, of course. I found your kind to be tenacious, resourceful, and skilled. And I know the one you're looking for. I can tell you where she's hiding. Oh, okay. That's good to know, Duscalte. Is it where you hid your honor? Your loyalty? So high and mighty for one who's betrayed everyone she's ever worked for. You have no idea how deep my betrayal goes, Kaina. What's she talking about, Matkina? My betrayals are nothing compared to hers. Watch that one cast-off. Her blades are always hungry. Anyway, you came here for another purpose. You need my help to find the first of your kind. The first is alive, then? Dracogen told you otherwise, didn't he? He knows far more than he lets on. He also knows better than to give away my bargaining chips. Your information is correct. The first is alive. But like Dracogen, I'm not inclined to giving away my secrets for free. I understand she's been hidden from your kind for over a century. I have no qualms about betraying her, but the cost will be steep. I've lost someone, an important member of my organization,
You've no doubt heard of the recent changes in the bloom. Perhaps you even heard the rumor that it's turned against me. To some extent, that's true. Ishin is a victim of that betrayal. Ishin was my best scholar, a genius with the Numenera. Through my own means, I've divined that he still lives, but I cannot reach him. The bloom has taken Ishin to its heart. I've lost more men than I care to think about while trying to recover him. As a cast-off, however, you have certain advantages my minions do not. With the recent fluctuations in the bloom's layout, I no longer know the path to reach the heart. I suggest you talk to someone who knows the bloom well if you cannot discover the way yourself. I can no longer afford to send anyone who's not otherwise expendable. The first is powerful. If you can tell me where she is, I'm sure together we can rescue Ishin more easily. Oh, she is powerful. Of that have no doubt, Cast-Off. And I am sure she will not be as helpful to you as you think. I do apologize if I gave the impression this was a discussion. I've made my offer. Rescue my friend from the bloom's heart and you shall have the location of your precious first. Fail and you will not. Do I make myself clear? Now, if you'll excuse me, I have an organization to maintain. See that the cast-off doesn't get lost on his way out. Damn! I didn't even get a chance to talk? Wow. Oh, thanks, Miranda. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. I just try to pick it up from osmosis, hanging out with the voice actors around here. Okay. So, I need to talk to this guard, and then if Chrono Wolf is in chat, I'm going to call Chrono out, because I've got about 2 minutes left before I'm supposed to give way to him, so I want to make sure he's here. Patrols! Patrols! But thanks, Miranda. I appreciate it. Alright, so I can tell him to F off. Flint told me you butcher your recruits. Is this true? Everywhere we travel, these slanders follow. Our subjects are treated well. We gain nothing by abusing their bodies. Repeat, we treat them well. When the moment comes for the replacement, we ensure that our specimens feel nothing. We sedate them during a moment of happiness, and using advanced techniques of which any surgeon would be proud, remove the extraneous head so that our clients might use the body into which we have invested so much. It is no worse than feeding slaves to maws, as is the practice here. Fact, it is more humane. You're still ending their lives. Leave the bloom now, before I destroy you. We are peaceful beings. Someday you will accept the truth of what we say. We will not attempt to persuade you now. No destruction is necessary. We assure you of our peaceability. Farewell. See you, bastard. Don't want slavers around here. I do not. Alright, cool. So, we just got Tibri with Alvinia, and then the missing patrols, which seems to be bugged out somehow. We've also got some leveling. Level up. What? Level up. Right. We're going to increase stat pools. I think I've got that up at its maximum. I'm going to increase my might a little bit. I think I'm good on my intellect pool now. I know, right? Okay. How about... I mean, I have all this lore already, but... I don't know.
Hey! Doing does beget learning.
Cobbler. Gain a +4 cipher limit. Yay! Dun, 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 dun. Okay, resourceful. +1 training level and cipher use skill. Quantum step. Gravity manipulation. Animate balefire. That could be useful because I already have that with someone else, but... I'm gonna use that too. Oh. Okay. Alright. I know, exactly, right? Fight Club! Nice. Good stuff, Hilness. Make sure you say hi to John when you're there, Hilness. And make sure you introduce yourself, because he'll know who you are. Once you introduce yourself, you will. Oh no, we always want to increase edge. How are we going to increase edge? We will increase edge in speed. Edge, same reason. Might.
Fine.
Wow. We got a lot of experience there. Look at this. I'm closing in on the next experience level. She's got a ways to go. She's got a ways to go, but pretty close. And he's right there. Nice. Okay. Lovely. So... someone who understands the bloom well. All right.
Of course we can help.
Well, Grisso, what's
Right
his
off?
face, should be the guy for that, I think.
Fine.
So what we're going to do is we're going to go down here. We're going to rest. And then we're going to go up to... there he is. There's Chrono Wolf. Nice. We're going to rest, then we're going to go up, and then we're going to close up shop. Perfect timing, Chrono. We got a lot done today. A lot
That's
done.
something I could do.
A lot done. I'm pretty pleased, actually, with this party. I think it's a good combination. I feel fairly happy with how this thing has come together. Sounds good. Thank you, X5. I appreciate it. Thank you for the introduction, etc. Okay, let's get up there. And there's the guy who clearly is the one that I'm going to want to talk about. Merchants are gone, but Gristler's not. So I will talk to him about this. But we're not going to do it now. We will do it at a later...
All right, Rin, you can do this.
we'll do this at a later date. Because right now, we're going to save this. Overwrite. Yeah, for sure. And there we go. All right, guys. Well, that was good times. That was good times. We actually got a lot done. We got a lot done, got a lot of quests out of the way, and we are advancing the main quest. So we are making good progress, and that is good. Next week is going to be also, I believe, is going to be more Torment, and then the week after that, we may return to D&D with GOG. We'll have to see how the timing is. We technically did fit it in because I believe August 1st was the day that we did it. So technically we got our one in for the month, but I know that Saber, Pyron Jade, and Screaming Joypad are chomping at the bit to get back and playing, and I can't blame them because it's, you know, it's D&D. It's automatically good. But that is going to do it for me for tonight. I want to thank everyone who made this such an awesome stream today. We had a really good time, I think, and got a lot of stuff done. Remember the ways that you can support the stream. Hold on just a second. There we go. Want to make sure that I got this up and running. Please make sure to remember the ways that you can support the channel, and that is, of course, by following GOG. Please sub to GOG if you can as well. And please check out all the other streamers that are on here. Please check us out individually, too, because we got a lot of cool stuff that we're doing. Hopefully you'll think it's cool on our individual channels as well. I am going to give way to Chrono Wolf now. Who's going to be playing Fallout 3 for you. I'm going to listen in a little bit while I am finishing up my packing, and then I'm going to rise up on out of here and go to Gen Con. As I say, I'm going to be there starting tomorrow night, and I'll be there all the way through Sunday night, probably arriving back here next Monday. I will be doing, again, panels and workshops and all that kind of stuff. So if you are at Gen Con, please stop by and say hi to me. I'm going to be at the Writers' Symposium. I will be doing a signing. I'll have some books to sell. I'll be doing readings as well, panels and talks and all that stuff as a member of the symposium. And I'll be doing that D&D adventure on Thursday night when I will be streaming, hopefully live streaming it, and I'll be doing that Night at the Forbidden Library in front of a live studio audience, as they say, with eight players, 8 other authors that are going to be playing with me as well. So it's going to be good times. But thanks everybody. I am looking forward to it, and it's going to be good times when whoever I see and meet there. But otherwise, I'll see you wonderful people here either on my channel or here right on GOG.com next week, GOG.com Twitch channel next week for Pen and Pixels episode 91 as we continue with our Torment playthrough. Until then, thanks everybody. Now stick around for Chrono Wolf and Night Howls as he plays some Fallout 3, and I will catch all of you wonderful people later on. Thanks everyone. Catch you all soon. Be good to each other. Have a good night.
I'm searching